This is the Levels Network. I'm Justin Horo, joined by the Grub. Grub, we fist bump to start. Me and Triple AG. Triple AG's away. Grub, it's always good to be back with you, mate, and doing some stuff.
Thank you.
And the bro, Lukey Stowe. By the way, Grubby, we've been talking about this for a while, and one thing that I have proposed, or at least we've discussed as a team, we've said that we would love to have you on board more. Every time you filled in, our audience has absolutely loved you. What I want you to do in the comments is let us know how much you love Grub, because what I am going to at least pitch to our partners at the TAB, we have extended with them. Grubby, I know you're an ambassador for them and been with them now for the last couple of years. I reckon we get you full-time for the Thursday preview show, coming in every Thursday with us, previewing the games, talking odds.
Love it.
You keen for that?
Oh, get me on. And there's no... That is pressure directed straight at you, Kate.
Kate, so here's what I need you to do. Here's what I need you to do. L1s from day one. We want you on behalf of Grub to just add a little bit of pressure. I love it. So when I go in for discussions with Kate, I got something to back me up, because I love doing it with Grubby. Me and Grub have also done some other stuff with Tab before, so there is a partnership already there. Yep. I reckon we just make it stronger and stronger next year. How about that?
I love it. And yeah, like all in the comments, just let's make sure, even if you don't want it, just put comments there. No. Comments.
No, you know what? I said this before. Our audience absolutely loves you. So nothing like a little bit of L1 peer pressure to apply to the tab. So,
love it,
mate. Let's get into the show. Actually, before we get to the show, me and you, we were doing the NFL show last year, or this halfway through last year. It sort of gets a little bit messy as it flows from one year to the next. I'm liking your Eagles, mate, and I told you when you come in here. Yeah. So as we started recording, your Eagles just got the job done against the Bucks. Jalen Hurts MVP is my smoky bet, just like my smoky bet for the NRL has been since about round 20. Broncos at $26. Wow. I got the Broncos, so they're in the final dance. Similar range. Jalen Hurts, I just think touchdown to intercept ratio is going to be solid. I think you guys are going to have the number one seed overall in the NFL. How are you feeling about your Eagles this year?
I got up very early today, 3 a.m. start. Mate, first half smoked. That's our best first half so far, coming off the worst one we had last week.
Yep.
They were on fire. We struggle in Tampa, the Heat, and last year we got, I think, round 3 or 4. They absolutely smoked us. So good to see, but Baker Mayfield made it a little bit hard towards the back end. But this is what I love about you. This is what used to happen last year when we had done our potty. I used to, I feel I know my NFL, but you're like, I'd say you're an NFL nerd. No, but that is a massive compliment, because I wish I knew. And even just that, you just planted a seed.
Yep.
I'll think about this for 6 hours today.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, you know what? Hoz knows best.
Well, you know what? We'll see what our partners at the tab, what odds. The odds have now closed for the MVP. Mate, I still think, I just had a look at the TAB before, $7.50 about your Eagles. That's still good value. I think they're going to be they're the team to beat.
Yeah,
I know they've lost some pieces on defense, but their offense is still there. Still got that offensive line. They're going to be hard to beat. Want to talk some footy now?
Let's do it, man.
All right, let's get to this one. We're starting off with a comment from our YouTube section, and we've also got some more details around this, as Peter V'landys himself has come out and added a little bit to a Sunday afternoon grand final potentially in the future. So this one comes from RTM. Hey boys, I strongly agree with Hoz on the NRL missing a golden opportunity to have a blockbuster prelim doubleheader on Sunday afternoon. So I talked about the advantage that the Melbourne Storm and Sharks had playing on Friday compared to the Broncos and Panthers on Sunday. Would have ruled out any speculation of advantages to the Storm, Sharks, etc. for having an extra 2 days off. Speaking of Sunday Arvo finals footy, I remember growing up watching daytime grand finals in the 90s all the way into 2000, and think back to how entertaining the games were in dry weather and what a great spectacle it was. Is there any chance of the daytime grand finals returning? I just watched the OG DOGG absolutely annihilate his performance at the AFL Grand Final, and well, he is my dog of the week. We really need to step up our NRL Grand Final entertainment experience. There's levels to this shit. Cheers, boys. Love tuning into the potty each Monday and Thursday. So a couple of things in there, Grubby. Let's start off with, I know you're going to feel the same way, the nostalgic feeling of the grand finals when we were growing up as kids on Sunday afternoon. I think it's a no-brainer, mate.
Can't beat it. Like is it the reason? What was the first reason we went to the late ones? Is it ratings? Is it
broadcasting?
Broadcasting,
so they can still get the news in and all that sort of stuff.
Come on, man!
Yeah.
Like we're at the peak of the NRL's at its peak at the moment,
Agreed.
right? Like we got to make it work when we are flying, and it is so much better. Like so for the game next week, right? I think the night game totally changes it. I think Melbourne have the upper hand just because of a night game. But you put it
Agreed.
You put it on a Sunday arvo at 4, brings the Broncos right back into it.
Yep.
Totally different.
Do Broncos flip to favourites for you?
Yeah.
Or does it just become more
close
even?
as. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Like I'm talking like $1.90, $1.85. Like that's how close it is.
Yep.
But then I just think the night game, that's just for this year, and Melbourne, they just get that. So they can grind you.
Do they go to like $1.75, $1.80?
I'd say so.
In night games. Okay.
Yeah. And look, that's just for this year's game, but the spectacle itself, it's daytime, it's afternoon, the barbecue's on, everyone's pumped, like it's just, you're right, it's what we remember, it's what I remember. And I've never been a fan of the night game, even playing. Oh man, like that, how usually the 8 p.m. games are a long day. The grand final ones are a triple long day, and I just feel for everyone. Everyone will love it. I wouldn't think there'll be many people out there that would say I love a night game.
No,
Look, for what reason would it be, Hoz?
I can't tell you because I haven't really heard anyone say it before.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone declare, like when this argument has been happening, I haven't heard, no one's actually had an argument for me to come back and go, you know what, let's keep it the night game. I'll throw another factor in. Grub, me and you have recently become fathers. Our body clocks aren't the same as these. Mate, we talk about it all the time, me and you.
Man.
We got an earlier start in the morning with our bubs, and therefore we go to sleep. Like if it's not for me calling games and you calling games as well, Grub, we're in bed earlier, mate, at like 9:30, 10. And a lot of people are the same. Like, so I've got some information off the back of that, and then we'll talk about the AFL Grand Final. So the NRL is reportedly considering scheduling an afternoon Grand Final in the coming years after widespread support for the time slot during the 2025 final series. The last afternoons decided was in 2000 when the Broncos beat the Roosters. Now, Peter V'landys is seriously considering making an afternoon grand final kickoff a key factor in the upcoming broadcasting deal negotiations, according to Code Sports. Now, apparently, a huge factor is off the back of the success and the popularity of the AFL grand final.
Yeah, okay.
And, mate, I can vouch for that. Like, I was switching between the Bledisloe and the AFL Grand Finals over the weekend. So that was, in a way, that was strategically, we talked about this on the potty, strategically I thought really smart, even though I thought it was a real advantage that the Melbourne Storm got to play. So my suggestion would have been play both of them on the Sunday afternoon because you had rugby union and AFL competing for views at the same time on Saturday. But there's no doubt, even as a staunch rugby league fan, AFL just do the grand final so right.
Can you imagine 2 games yesterday? Like the hype around a Sunday. Like I wouldn't have woken up that excited for a Sunday in my life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well now, I was just sort of thinking, if we put 2 Sundays, we've got no Friday, no Saturday. But put the NRLW on there now.
Yeah.
Because they're semi-finals now.
Yeah.
Go Friday night, then Saturday night. Then you got footy the whole way through. So
another games that we didn't see. I wish we'd seen. There was a comment in the section. Like maybe can we chuck the New South Wales Cup and Queensland Cup grand finals?
Surely, man. I thought the same thing, mate.
Chuck them on because we're still going to watch them go to head in the interstate. Maybe we just highlight some of these plays. Like everyone's been talking about this WARS New South Wales Cup team all year and the streak that they've been on.
Yep.
We're talking about the young. I would have loved to have seen the Dragons go head to head with the like chuck it on Channel 9 on
Absolutely.
on 5:30 and then chuck the Queensland Cup after at 7:30 and then we just get pumped.
Both teams were stacked yesterday, Hoss.
2 o'clock we go storm Cronulla down in Melbourne after why all that energy is in Melbourne after the grand final, and then we just we get through Storm and Sharks. Well, I'm a little bit 4:30. Let's go Broncos versus Panthers.
You get weary.
Oh, rugby league fatigue.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, mate, it's even that New South Wales Cup and the Queensland, these guys are our future. Like these are the guys on the fringe, and we're not watching them. I think that's madness. I yesterday when I was looking at it, I was looking at the tab app and I was just having a quick ease through because I feel that's where I get on my timings. I don't know, especially with like UFC and boxing and stuff. You just don't know. But I was looking and I was like, 3:15, the New South Wales Cup, and I was like, that's madness, man. Like these guys, both sides were stacked. Stacked. Like, I want to watch all these guys, you know, the potential, you know, the Dragons, the Jonah Glovers of the world, and who's been talked about a lot.
Jet Cleary on the bench for the Waz.
Let's see him on the big stage. Put him on. That's got to be something that, you know, they consider as well for the future moving forward.
Did you enjoy yesterday, Lukey? You're wearing the Kangaroos jersey. I'd imagine you would have had a Wallabies jersey on, mate. But
had a Wallabies
that didn't go your way
on the Saturday. No good. No Bledisloe. I thought I'd get a little bit of slack on the clip the other day. I used George Gregan holding the Bledisloe, but nobody noticed it. Back at the end of the clip.
Love?
Didn't get. No, I thought I'd get hammered for it.
Hey, you know what I want to give some love out to, because I haven't watched like consistently a lot of rugby union of late. I know the Wallabies have been playing a lot better, but I was flicking over between the horses. The Wallabies, Group 1 racing. Like there's still some big racing that was happening.
There's some good races.
There's some good races. The Wallabies and then the AFL Grand Final. Man, Harry Wilson, he is just an absolute dog. He is so fun to watch. Like that Wallabies team showed a lot of fight against the All Blacks, but just too hard to beat over there at Eden Park.
No, I fully agree. But you know what it is now, Lukey, like you can watch the Wallabies now and be proud of their efforts. It's not that, you know, the years before. It's just that I always felt they were so gun shy. They were nervous to stuff up because, you know, the media and like even unfortunately the Australian public were like, oh, they're boring to watch. At least now they land on their own sword. You know, they lose themselves, and you'd rather that. I'd rather someone come out and have a crack. And mate, they're throwing the ball around. They got a bit of swagger about them. You could tell that even though New Zealand were pretty clinical, they were a little bit nervous because it's not the old Wallabies walking into Eden Park and just getting absolutely spanked.
It's not the old All Blacks as well.
Exactly.
So they were a chance. Wallabies were a genuine chance in that game.
So, no, it's good to watch now, and they're actually going really well. And it's actually like, I think, I've always thought about it, it's like you can put so much NRL skill sets into a game of rugby, and I just feel the Wallabies are doing that a bit now. You know, their forwards are playing out the back with a couple of block plays, shifting it to their outside backs one-on-one. It's good to watch.
Nice little tips in and around the ruck. Of like I said, I haven't watched a whole heap over the years. I really only tune in for Bledisloe's, to be fair, and Rugby World Cup. So,
but yeah, back to Big Harry. He just doesn't stop.
Yeah,
he's massive. Like we were saying on the phone yesterday, he's just so big, and he just keeps going.
AFL Grand Final, Snoop DOGG. Did you see it?
I did see it.
Didn't you?
I did. I watched the game, I didn't watch it. I was late.
Yeah. So I actually missed it to begin with, but I went back and watched it just because of this comment. Fucking so good.
Really?
So good. He was awesome. Like a couple of parts that I loved, incorporating the Aussies in. So he had Jessica Melboy come out and sing Beautiful with him.
Tash
sing the
Sultana.
Pharrell bit. Tash Sultana started it. And Baker Boy with the didgeridoo at the start of Still.
Nice.
Fucking was awesome. Was awesome.
That's
so, Mace would have hated it. I wish Mace was here because Mace hates everything AFL.
Mate, the funniest thing I've ever seen was when he was in the crowd and I was like, mate, this should be mad. He goes, fucking shit.
Worst spectacle I've ever seen.
Ow. I love him. He's solid, mate.
Speaking of grand final, Teddy Swims has cancelled 2 of his last shows because he's very crook.
Yeah.
Surely not.
Yeah.
He couldn't.
Who's the backup?
Where is he? He's in Brazil now?
Who's the backup?
Yeah, he's over. So he's over. I think he's over in South America at the moment. And yeah, he's had to cancel a couple of shows.
So he's supposed to play on Wednesday at Rod Laver. So, no, that's 22nd. Hang on. Where's the schedule?
Who's the backup? Wolf Mother, Joker and the Thief, rolling out like your Bulldogs do.
Wow.
Chance.
Really going back there.
Get the living end out there.
Who?
Get the living end. Bit of a throwback.
The living end.
Bit of a throwback.
From Teddy to the living end. Yeah. Okay.
That's nostalgic for us 90s kids.
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s.
They would have to have a backup though, wouldn't they now?
Fuck. You'd have to. Yeah, they'd be chasing their tails right now, especially because of how good Snoop was. Snoop was fucking awesome, mate.
It's just a battle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
he doesn't even have to do much. He just walks out and he's cool and he's just doing
What about do you see his banana around the corner?
No.
on the news?
Oh, yes. No, someone told me about it on radio.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently it was
Swatted
silky.
it.
Yeah.
So these are reports. I don't know if you've heard any more information. So he's got his own Snoop League, right?
Yeah.
His own youth league over in the
Yep.
States. So he's like fully ingrained. He like coaches his team. There's been some really good talent that have come out of it that gone on to the NFL.
Oh, really?
I might be speaking out of school here, but maybe Justin Jefferson. No, there's a really good wide receiver or a DB. Sauce Gardner, maybe went through the league.
Oh, really?
But someone in the comments. This is just off the cuff, so NFL fans, calm down. I know that there's a real elite Juju was part of it.
and
Yeah, he's a
Romeo
California guy,
Dubes.
and I'm pretty sure Sauce Gardner's a California guy.
Romeo Dubes.
Romeo Dobbs. Yep. Yeah. So
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. Yep.
Surely not. Well, he went.
Sean Nixon.
They all played in the junior league.
Stroud did.
Sean Nixon.
Jack Jones. Diane Henley. And Diomedor Lenoir.
There we go. You butchered about 6 of those names, but good effort because I know you're not an NFL guy.
I'm trying.
Hey,
Butcher.
but yeah. So anyway, so he's got his whole youth
okay,
league.
okay.
I've seen him throw the pigskin. He throws a tight spiral, but so apparently he was a punter.
What, Snoop?
Back
Those
in the day.
long limbs.
Apparently he was a punter. And I don't know if I've been stitched up on the text line for radio on Saturday.
That's a G up.
But someone threw out that like when he was coming through the youth league and playing, he used to mix around and play a little bit of wide receiver or whatever and kick and punt.
Fuck off.
Did you
I'm
see
not
his kick?
confident.
Apparently he nailed it.
Yeah, I
haven't
seen
seen
his
it.
kick
Yeah.
around the, and it was a nice around the corner. But
Okay.
all I can think of right now is
No, I think you've been
Telstra ad.
stitched up.
It's that Snoop Dogg with his big limbs. But mate, he punted it. Who was he with? I forget what players it was, but they were like trying to teach him. He's like, I got this.
Oh, the Dacos brothers.
That's who it was.
The Collingwood boys.
Yeah.
And he just went around the corner, bang, and then he does like a mad walk off.
That's mad.
It was cool.
Oh, so that's the walk that he did after he kicked it. Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
That's
good.
awesome. So, at the core of that, yes, AFL, seen the Snoop DOGG, killed it, loved it. We're under pressure now for the NRL Grand Final day for a couple of reasons. Teddy Swims could be down and out, and he's got to step up to the plate after Snoop Dogg killed it. And also, under pressure, the afternoon Grand Finals are a must for the NRL moving forward. After the success of watching the Broncos play 2 Sunday afternoon games, Penrith the week before against the Bulldogs. I've caught all 3 Sunday games in the last 3 weeks, and they've been outstanding.
Unreal, man.
Been so good. We need to see more of it. Let's get it back to Sunday afternoons for the grand final. All right, Grub, this is the part where Mace normally has our OG bull. And by the way, can you crack the Red Bull for us too here, mate? Yeah, just have a little sip before you announce who your OG bull is for this week. Thanks to Red Bull.
Lovely. Jerome Hughes. Tough, man. Honestly. Like, there's two reasons why I've chosen him. And the Sharkies, what are you doing? That's my first point on it.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate more on that before you move on?
I will. Okay, I heard Fitz, and I love Fitz. I've never really met him. Like, I used to love the way he played, tough as, but I heard him say coming into the game that, actually, I think it was just before the game, one of the commentators asked, are you going to give, put a lot of traffic down Jerome Hughes' edge? And his response was, we usually, go after the halves. That's how we try and generate quick rucks and quick play the balls. But it's not like we've made an emphasis on it this week. And in my head, I'm going, man,
What?
go after him.
Yeah.
But make it known.
Yeah.
Like, for me, and people say, and don't listen to the media or this or that, but you read an article through the week that Teague Wilton says, I'm going at his inside shoulder all day.
Yep.
All day. If I'm Jerome Hughes, it's in my head already. I'm telling you right now.
If I'm Ali Katoa, his back row, I'm thinking I need to make sure I help out.
Which
Jerome
makes
Hughes.
what?
It creates anxiety in and around him.
So he gets a bit closer, probably to protect his inside shoulder,
Yep, fair.
which leaves A, B, C a bit wider.
Yep,
And
great
you go
point.
straight through the ruck. But I just found it crazy. 9 tackles, 2 misses. He should have had double that with double misses because, man, broken arm, dislocated
shoulder.
same side, man. Hoz, I've had both, honestly, like at different times.
Yep.
Uncomfortable. They're both at the same time, man, and that's which leads into my point of why he played so tough.
Yeah.
I thought he might have played in a dinner suit. I really did. I thought he just going to get him around the park, kick well, support, mate, that try, taking the line on, show inside, bang. Like, it just showed me how tough he is, and taking it to the line, copped a few hits from T.
Yep.
Mate, I just love that in a half, because, you know, some halves I won't say some halves, I'll say the half-back position is known to be not the toughest position. You know, it's probably the silkiest, and you don't really get known to be tough.
They've got so many more important things that they have to control in a game.
So true, man.
Yeah, the toughness is a great attribute, but organising is the main thing that you want.
If you're a good organiser and you're not tough, you can still get away with it.
Yep.
But the way I judge a half is the way he puts his body in front, and the way he does the things that you're not meant to. You know, like, why not? You know, Munster on the weekend, he's on a half, but his kick pressures, he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
But he does them.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't fit the mould, or he doesn't suit what everyone thinks you should be as a half. So, but back to Jerome Hughes, man, I loved his temperament. He didn't shy away from anything he usually does. And that's just control the team. And this is why, you know, when the Melbourne 1769 are all on that unorthodox. I call them unorthodox.
Yeah, they really are.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure we'll get into it a little bit more with the game, but Harry Grant gets out. And it's like, if anyone else in the league does this, everyone goes, what are you doing? Yeah. And everyone does that. Like,
just gives the ball.
But then Munster's flat.
Yeah.
He gets the ball and just goes, bush, quick play the ball. And then Jerome him off the back of it. So, mate, tough as nails. Love to see it. And it was a big call, Hoz, because different circumstances, but Bellamy admitted he brought him back early recently.
Yes.
He admitted that.
Yep. Once he went down with the broken arm, in the Broncos, he said maybe we're a bit too early on it.
Exactly. He had another decision to make. I know it was do or die, but you can either back your team and play in the GF, but he brought him back early again. And it could have went one way or the other.
For sure, it could have.
But that's trust in coaching. That's a trust in your players, in your senior players, and your leaders. And mate, come up trumps. Tough game.
Even though I love your pointing around Fitzy and not declaring it, even though they didn't declare it, for sure it would have been part of their game plan. Absolutely. Isolate him, get after him, and whenever they get an opportunity, Teague Wilton come out of the line and gave him a good lick at about the 10-minute mark, right? When they went to the corner. I think it deflated him when he scored that solo effort from 30, 35 metres out, because they would have gone in with the plan going, all right, like Jerome Hughes, he's our target. We're going to get after him. Once he breaks through that tackle, beats 2 or 3 defenders, and then also able to sort of get away or veer away from Will Kennedy, absorb Ronaldo Mulatalo, land on that hand, get up, fucking flex on the crowd, on his home crowd. I reckon all the Sharkies players would have gone walking back, like subconsciously, Grub.
So
put yourself in the Sharks.
Oh, mate, for sure.
You would have been walking back going, fuck, that's the guy we're supposed to be spotting.
That was our game plan.
Like, what's happening? Like, he's sweet.
Yeah.
And I reckon that mentally broke the Sharks early in the game.
All right, let's flip it the other way.
Not to say they couldn't win the game, but that would have just been like, just creates a little bit of doubt in the back of your mind.
That's sometimes in a game. That's all. That's why you lose.
Yeah.
That one bit of self doubt. You don't pass that pass. You don't do this. You don't do that. I've actually got a point about later on about the Panthers game about Blaze Talangi at the moment. But yeah, you're right. But at the same time, and there's a balance, right? Because, you know, everyone always says that coaches always say we're playing our style. We're not chasing someone because of this, or because they've got such good aerial threats, we'll go toe to toe with them. Sometimes I think that's stupid. I really do. So, but the Sharks going that good, probably the form team of the comp, and they said we're not going after Hughes. We're sticking to our processes. Or, come on, man, channel that right edge. And you know how people say get at him. You don't have to get at him every time. Halfback, back rower, bumper bars, there's one tackle. But then he's at marker.
Go away.
So then he has to chase at marker. You got to still stick to your principles.
Yeah.
But then sort of come back at him. He might not be, but even being third in on a tackle, man, just to like hit with that arm. But I just feel they just didn't do it enough.
That's a non-negotiable for them too. So if he's in and around, he has to get in the legs, because that's what the Melbourne Storm do. So if you, even though you don't run directly at him, if you run to Ali Katoa or Nick Meaney or whoever's around him, part of his job is he has to get in at legs.
Exactly.
So you can get at him, go away, come back. Another part, which I thought was cool, just doing this, doing content. After the game, I posted a post about, how good he was. Before the game, we'd posted something about Mace saying that they should get at him. He let us know He let me know in the DMs.
Yeah, I love it.
That he had seen the clip and he was aware of it. So we'll leave it at that. That's all. That's all I'll say.
Was it like a bit of a dig at Mace?
No, just letting us know. Okay. Just letting us know respectfully that he's seen the clip. Respectfully.
I love that.
And on to the next, boys. On to the next.
Cool, man.
All right, I'm going to go to the next game. I'm going to go to the Broncos, and I'm going to crack here. Here we go. Let's crack. Let's crack this Red Bull. Have a quick little sip. And these stats aren't going to blow you away, Grubby, but I thought he'd come up with a crucial 2 to 3 minute period. So my player had 6 carries for 39 metres, 13 post contact, 33 tackles, and 2 misses. Now, the criteria for the young buck, Grub, if you're not, because you haven't been here for the review show, is they have to 2 things to be a young buck. They have to either be under 25 years old, which this guy is just over and 26, or you have to be under 50 games, and he's played 46 games. So my young buck is Tyson Smoothie. So Tyson Smoothie was arguably, outside of the star players that were returning, under the biggest spotlight going into this game. No Paddy Carrigan. Tyson Smoothie is starting the game in that famous number 13 jersey, sans Paddy Carrigan. So that's already a huge task for him going into the game. You're going, not only is he filling in for Paddy Carrigan, there's a guy called Isaiah Yeo in the opposition that you basically not marking up on, but when the numbers are read out, to me, that looked to be a huge advantage for the Penrith Panthers. Just the way Isaiah, over the years, has been able to dictate and control the ruck. Where Tyson Smoothie has been a hybrid sort of hooker, lock, front row at times. But there was a 2-minute period where he come up with huge plays off the back of his inspirational front rower. So he was the first one. So we'll get to Payne Haas a little bit later on. But once they defended set after set, Nathan, this is sort of the last time that the Panthers had any real good ball. Nathan tries to put a dart low across the ground, in and around the post. Tyson Smoothie picks it up on one bounce like a slips catch.
Unreal.
Ricky Ponting off his shoelaces, picks it up, gains an extra 10, 15 metres. So that was the last chance that really Penrith got to attack. So I don't want to, huge play. Then they go down, pardon me, then they go down that set. They get a little bit of momentum. On the last tackle, Adam Reynolds goes to put a kick into the corner, gets kick pressure. Tyson Smoothie knows what his job is, sits on the inside of Adam Reynolds just in case, pops it to Adam Reynolds, passes on the inside of Tyson Smoothie. Tyson Smoothie then finds Payne Haas. Payne Haas tries to tip onto Katoni Staggs. Blaze Talangi knocks the ball on. They get the repeat set. Then maybe a set later, it looks like they're flustered again. They've sort of lost all control. The ball goes to Tyson Smoothie. He puts up a Hail Mary, puts the kick in the air. It lands on the spot, somehow just sits. I don't know how it didn't go dead.
I thought that was gone.
Now, Blaze Salangi and Dylan Edwards come up with a huge play because they managed to get out of the in-goal, but they only got a metre out of the in-goal. They then have an error after that set. So Tyson Smoothie, I don't think you'll get the recognition from the average fan. They don't win that game without Tyson Smoothie. That 3-minute period from Tyson Smoothie was instrumental, along with some other big performances, but I just wanted to highlight that because, going into the game, what a huge task he had to fill the boots of Paddy Carrigan. And, mate, I don't know what Madge does with him next week, who the player is that misses out, but Tyson Smoothie in the last 2 games, this game and even against the Canberra Raiders, has been excellent.
Mate, and like you just said, it's actually so nice to hear that recognition for those type of players. Don't get it often. They're not on the news. They're not on the back page of any papers, but they're in the videos on Monday, and that's where they, that's their Channel 9 news, right? That's
where they get their credibility.
That's where they are, and the boys know it week in, week out. And I'm just trying to think of someone similar like.
Guys you played with?
Aiden Tolman.
Yeah.
He's not, or a Joshy Jackson, they're the workers. They do all that little stuff. They stick to the process.
You know who my goal was?
Under duress.
Jamie Buhrer at Manly. Loved playing with Jamie.
Well, but, mate, he played Origins. So, and he got awarded for that, right?
Gotcha.
But at the same time, he never, you're right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Week in, week out, he's an 8 out of 10, right?
Every week.
But you're right. I'm glad you mentioned it because people got to understand those little moments are what in big games are what make you win. Like a rail on the inside, but not panicking. You know, like a lot of people panic. Fifth tackle, what do I do? But and then that kick. People will say got lucky. Well, did he?
Yeah.
He had to kick it.
Yeah.
He had to kick it. And then like you said,
it was a lucky bounce, but it wasn't a lucky option.
But halves get lucky bounces all the time.
Yeah.
We practice all the time.
Yeah.
So it's the recognition is there for those players, and he'll probably appreciate you talking about it, because it's one of those things where he probably goes, I'm doing all these little things, but no one's seeing it. So, mate, massive, but I can't believe Carrigan's back this week too.
Carrigan's back.
Oh, man. What a game. It's going to be on.
It was awesome. So there are so many good performances. In order for Tyson Smoothie to do that, Payne come up with a couple of huge moments that we'll talk about a little bit later on. But let's get to a question, or actually we talked about the theme. You know how the Panthers have had a theme going into every final series. This one was around Samurais, the Book of Five Rings. Now, unfortunately, it didn't play out that way. But just got a reply from Prezzo with there was a couple other people that messaged me in and around this. The Book of Five Rings, which was the theme for their finals run and chasing that 5 rings, was actually translated by a guy called Thomas Cleary of all people. Like, just the last name, everything. Wow. Like, I know the Panthers haven't gone on and got the job done, right? They were brave, they were awesome. But just like all these themes and how Ivan has found these little nuggets over the years, and even just something as simple as like the translators' names, Thomas Cleary, just they blow me away with their attention to detail. Yeah. And we'll get to them in detail a little bit later on as well, because they ain't going anywhere. No. By the way, Grub.
No way.
Just want to let everyone know who has been jumping on board Papa Macros for maybe 2 or 3 weeks out from the final series that you can still get involved. So we have a code that is only available for our audience, or if you listen to our show. So if you haven't bought a box of Papa Macros yet, go on the website, buy your first box. You'll get $30 off the first box with the code LEVELS30. And I know there are a whole heap of people doing this because we've seen the data. It's coming back to me and Lukey. There are so many people that are repeat customers. Put in the code LEVELS10 and that'll get 10% off all future orders.
Best meal prep in the game.
Best meal prep in the game. They're from Lukey. You're looking trim actually too. You've been pumping.
Thank you, sir. Might get a call up for the tour.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. All right, let's get to a YouTube question. This one comes from Daniel Griffith. I wanted to ask you about this, Grubby, because you've spent some time over in the UK as well. I wanted to know if you've seen this in and around the Ashes series coming up. Scope L1 from day one. Did you see the Sean Wayne addressing the England team ahead of the Ashes series on their socials? It got me pumped up for the Ashes. Did you ever come across Wayne at your time in the Super League? Cheers, boys, for another great year of content. So, Grubby, did you see the content with Sean Wayne?
I didn't see it. No, what is it?
He had the big screen up. He had all the English players over there that are a part of the wider squad.
Yep.
Without sort of the NRL players over there at the moment. And he let the English team know that the last team to win the Ashes series was a team that he had up on the screen. It was in black and white, mate. I think it was...
Really?
Should have got this detail right going into it. It was either the 1970 or 19... Oh, have you got it?
Is this the video here from the Instagram?
Show Grubby. He'll love it.
Opportunity
Show
you can't
Grubby.
miss. I want to show you a picture. Is that how it starts?
Yes, that's it.
Hang on, let me
So I want to show you a picture. You all know what that is, yeah? All right. Yeah, that's the last time we won Ashes. The last time we won the Ashes, 1970. So the last time we had an Ashes series was 2003. Yeah, a long time, a couple of decades since we had an Ashes. We lost it 3-0. Last time we won it, 1970. They've not been over here for 20 years. This is a chance and an opportunity what you can't miss. You got the first goes at it. You're in. And I expect great things from you. And the idea of today's meeting is to make it absolutely crystal clear to you what you need to do to make sure that you're in. Can you imagine what that feels like to win an Ashes series? It's massive. It might never happen again in your playing career, this might be your one and only chance of winning an Ashes. So I want to show you a picture.
That's it.
Fuck.
How good's that?
Oh, man. Like, if I'm in that room,
Oh,
shit. Look out.
yeah. Look, did you hear much about Sean Wayne? Was Sean Wayne coaching Wigan when you got over there, or had he just finished up? He might have
just finished up, but
Yeah.
I think it was that year.
Yeah.
But I heard stories, like you hear stories from all the guys that I played with.
They all love him.
That had played under him or thereabouts. And yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Like just good motivator, staunch guy. You know, he looks like a bit of an old school.
Yeah,
you don't want to cross him, you know?
So the rumours were he's a bit of a heavy.
There you go.
Like he was a bit of a gangster. Like when he was growing up, like he had a reputation of
yeah.
So and that's the way he coached. He was, and the opposite to what we were talking about before with Fitzy, sort of shying away. Mate, they've posted that on their socials.
Yeah, I love that.
That was we're fucking 3 months out from an Ashes.
Yeah.
So that's sending a message, or maybe less, maybe 2 months. He's sending a message to his team, that squad. He's sending a message to Australia.
Absolutely. And I love that.
They're not shying away from
So
it.
they should. What do you mean?
Love
like,
it.
don't just compete. Don't just play in the Ashes. Fucking win it. Like
Go and win it.
And that's the thing, right? Like us over here, like we're going, we'll win the Ashes. Well, I'll be straight up. We'll win the Ashes. But if I'm there and I'm England, like the guys that are in that squad, like Mikey Lewis, is he in the squad?
He would be. For
okay.
Sure.
Well, show us what you're made of.
Yep.
Like I've mentioned to him, I think last time I was on here, I mentioned him and, mate, get into him. Get into the Aussies.
Yeah.
Have a go. And they will, but I mean proper. It's at your hometown.
Yeah.
Make it mean something, and that pumped me up, but I'm not even English.
Yeah, I think England are going to be red hot in this one. Mikey Lewis, he's been off the bench for them in the last couple of years as part of their campaigns. Obviously exploded with Hull KR. He just got extended, I've seen recently as well, for another 5 years. So, I think
who between him, George.
It's hard to know. Yeah, George Williams would be thereabouts for sure. Harry Smith, the Wigan half, would be thereabouts as well. But yeah, we'll wait and see with injuries and all that and how it all plays out. And then also, after the news that Victor Radley has withdrawn because of the off-field stuff over here, he won't be a part of it. But Herbie Farnworth will be there. AJ Brimson has made himself available. Billy Smith also recently. So there are also still some NRL players that will be a part of that group that weren't in that video.
Speaking of, we had a few questions last week. How do you get tickets? That's in the podcast show notes.
Okay.
So the first 2 shows are on sale.
Yep.
Third one coming soon.
All right. So, by the way, we're going over there. We're doing the Ashes tour. We've got 3 events that we're doing pre-game on the Friday night. The first one, we've got Chariots O'Fire, Martin O'Fire. We've got him for the first one. We've got Sammy Burgess for the second show. And we got his little big bro, Tom Burgess, over in the lead side. So I can't wait to get over.
Terrible. Sounds terrible, man.
We might be. I was messaging both the Burgess brothers, who I'm close with because of my relationship playing with Luke at both Manly and then Catalan Dragons, and we're in a little bit of a WhatsApp group. And Biff is now trying to find a way to get on the tour with us. So Luke's trying to get over there with us as well.
Yeah.
Like Sammy's just been all business. He goes, mate. I was asking him some questions. Grubby, you'll know it. I'd imagine you would have gone to Manchester and gone to Albert Schloss.
Yes.
One of the great pubs in Manchester for a night out. And I was messaging Sammy and I was going, like, is that still the go? Is that the spot? Because I haven't been there for 6 years now. Like 2019 was when I come home. And he goes, mate, to be honest, I haven't been out. Like I've been so locked in with Warrington since I've been here. But all the boys said that is still the place to go.
Wait.
So, mate, I can't wait to take you to that. You're going to fucking love it.
Surely there's a Thursday show somewhere in there, isn't it? If we get this.
Well, we're trying not to do too many shows. Oh, you want to do it Thursday? You're trying to make your way over there, Grubby?
Yeah, somehow.
I love that. All right, so I want to go through. I want to get me and Mace will do this again on Wednesday. I think we'll probably get some replies as part of our show to build out who we think So we're filming on Wednesday too, by the way, for when Mace gets back. He's got a business trip at the moment. He's got some stuff going on. Bizzo. On Wednesday, he's always busy. Always got a bit of bizzo happening.
You won't know what it is, but it's bizzo.
Or he might not tell us what it is properly, but it's bizzo. All right, but the Dally M's are on Wednesday night as well. So by the time maybe they're seeing our Wednesday show, it's already been announced. It'll be similar times by the time we drop. And then obviously we've got our golf day on Thursday. That's why we're shooting on Wednesday afternoon. I want to go through the nominees. Grubby, And you give me your Dally M Team of the Year. Ready to go? All right, the fullback nominations are, and I think this one is fairly obvious, James Tedesco, K.O. Weeks, Reece Walsh.
Teddy. Yep.
Agreed. The centres, the options are Casey McLean, Robert Toya. This one's tricky as well. When you get to the positions, I just want to be clear, like this year, because I feel like for me, Stephen Crichton and Herbie Farnworth are the best centres in the game. But for me, they won't be my centres and wingers, for example, right?
Yep.
Like you just don't get the centre of the year because you are the best. We're going on the year. So the centres nominees are Casey McLean, Robert Toya, Herbie Farnworth, Stephen Crichton, and Tony Staggs.
I'll go Staggs.
Same.
For the year.
Yep. I know who you're tossing up between.
Yeah.
You're tossing up between Casey McLean and Herbie?
Yeah.
Were you or not?
Yeah. But then I've also got my Critter hat on. Just because I see the impact he has on our team.
I know.
And that's hard to separate. But
and basically you got to go back to statistically, right? Because you know what Stephen Crichton. So if I was to pick out of those centres and start a team right now, I'd pick Critter. 100%.
Yeah.
With no hesitation, even though I think Herbie Farnworth is a gun. But I'm going Tony Staggs, and I want to see who you pick first because I think my one might be different.
I'm going to go Critter.
Okay, you're going Critter?
I'll go Critter.
I'm going to go Herbie Farnworth.
Yep.
Because I think even through the games that they were struggling and not getting wins, he's a completely different centre. Not to say that he doesn't have leadership qualities like Stephen Crichton, but he's going to give you 15 to 180 metres.
Unreal.
15 carries for 180 metres at minimum. And normally that's wingers that do that, not centres. So Herbie Farnworth and Tony Staggs are my centres.
Not a bad centre pairing.
All right, the winger nominations are Nwanga Nitawase, Xavier Savage, Jacob Carraz, Zach Lomax, and Xavier Coates.
Nwanga Nitawase, easy.
Yep.
And Coates or Carraz?
I'm going Coates. I think, you know what? I think Savage, Carraz, and Lomax all had good periods to 2 or 3 games at times, and then maybe had a couple of quiet ones, and then
has Coates had that year, but has he?
Not necessarily, but I don't think the other 3 have taken it away from him.
I just think at times. Well, maybe I'm being a bit biased here because I watch the Dogs game so closely. Without Carraz, we're a different side.
Agreed.
Like his yardage carries and those late offloads. I know that's not what wingers are probably known for. Well, they are the yardage carries, but that late offload breaks people's hearts.
Yeah,
absolutely does. Threat in the air. Coates. I'm gonna go Carraz.
Okay.
Yeah.
5/8 nominations are Cameron Munster, Ethan Strange, and Matt Burton.
Strange.
I'm going Munster.
Munster.
I think Munster's secretly had a really good season.
Yep.
And it's I think it's that elite player fatigue that we get so often.
Oh, mate, and that's the thing. If Munster gets it, I'm not.
And I'm with you. Like if Ethan Strange gets it, I've seen players get it when they have career best years or their projection from being a young player to becoming a borderline superstar.
Yep.
That's what Ethan Strange has done this year. I just think Cam Munster, you know what, like this is just what sort of not frustrates me, but I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe because I don't know, he's a bit of a larrikin over the years, but whenever like Munster was missing, remember Munster missed large portions? Everyone talked about how good Jerome Hughes was winning without Munster. Munster did that for a whole heap of games without Pappenhausen and Hughes this year. No one really said anything.
No, it's you know what though? It's expected of him.
Exactly. So that's why I thought he's put together a really good resume this year and been awesome.
Probably a different type of year, Hoz.
Yeah.
You reckon?
Fair.
Like a more leadership year.
Yep.
Like if we're talking about not giving him that, he deserves that. Like because now he's a different guy. I don't really know, but I watch him on your stuff, and I just know if I played him or whatever, he'd be my type of guy.
Yeah.
But this year, you're right. He's had to step up at times where he probably hasn't had to a lot, and sometimes even not a direct halfback role because he had Pezzett help, but he sort of had to getting him around the park. So yeah, from that perspective, maybe thereabouts. But I just think we've seen Strange. The day he pulled out on that game day, it just shows you the difference the difference in the Canberra side. I honestly think that.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Just off the back
They
of
looked
him.
lost without him, didn't they?
Left foot. He might not always get through, but then it's what's off the back of that.
Yep.
So, mate, what a year for the young kid. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's going to be part of this category for a number of years. Halfback, Nathan Cleary, Jamal Fogarty, and Isaiah Katoa. Katoa.
Yep.
Nathan was doing his best work late, though, wasn't he?
Yeah. Hard. That's the
Fogarty was awesome as well, but Isaiah Katoa, sort of feel like if he plays in one of the top 4 teams, then he's not only a chance for halfback, but Dally M. Like, he was so good in some of those big games.
Were you able to catch his coverage on the Friday night, or were you
awesome.
calling?
I was just about to say. I was literally, how was he? 21?
Yeah,
If that?
believe so.
I couldn't even string 2 words together at 21. The bloke, the way he was breaking it down,
He's
and
a
mate,
freak.
that bit where him and Cooper done the breakdown of the plays, man, he was like great because you could tell there was that little bit of like, oh, this is live, but at the same time, you know, they obviously had cues and they were going off each other, mate. The way he, brilliant. I was just like, what can't he do?
He's a freak.
Oh man,
That, like, everyone keeps talking about him, and when you have guys like Cooper Cronk, Matty Johns, Andrew Johns, the great Josh Reynolds, just speak about, like, even Fozzie, mate. Like, we had Fozzie because we
he's great
rotate
as
between
well, man.
Fozzie and Money, and we did our Zoom last night straight after the game while it was still raw, and after we'll finish, right, we always have a little chat after. And he goes, mate, Izzy is just an absolute gun. He's going to be an absolute freak. So Izzy Katoa for me is my halfback. Hooker of the year, Appy Carousel, Blake Brayley, and Tom Starling.
Brayley. Yep. Unbelievable.
The other two were really good. Tom Starling had a career year, but Brayley was awesome.
Do you think Brayley, ever since he decided to start being more of a threat, it helped Nico Hines and their halves just take pressure off? Because I feel that was the thing with the Sharks. When you played the Sharks, it was their halves dominating. But Brayley just said, you know what? I'm a threat now. And I'm going to dig in wherever I need to, mate. It was unreal.
He had his first loss as a captain on the weekend too. So I think he went 6 in a row, 7 in a row. So he really took to that leadership role as well.
Yeah.
And then you got a fact that, like, that was a huge decision as well for Fitzy. You had Nico and Aden in the team.
Yeah.
Both have captained their teams at different parts. Like, Aden's captained the Warriors before. Nico's obviously started off as captain a couple of years ago with co-captains with Dale. So he really took to that captaincy and leadership.
Such a smart decision, mate.
Yeah.
Nico don't need that now.
No, he doesn't.
Nico needs what he's been doing.
Yep.
Just playing footy.
Yep.
And I honestly think the same with Aden. Like, he's growing into it, but he'll still be a leader.
Yeah.
But it seems like Brayley, he's just got that nothing phases him effect.
Yeah.
And they're the type of players that you need to be.
Even when he sits next to Fitzy in the presser, he looks like, respectfully, he looks like an under-20s kid. He's so mate. He plays above his fucking weight and size.
Unbelievable.
He's a gun. I was always a little bit sheepish on him. Took me a while to warm to Blake Brayley, but this year for sure he's been my number one hooker. All right, props: Adam Fanua-Blake, Stefano Uto Ikamanu, Josh Papali'i, Terrell May, and Payne Haas. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult, Grubby. Or are you locked into?
I think Haas.
Yep.
That's the one.
To be fair, Payne did not have as big a year. His final series has been unbelievable, but we're going purely on the regular season. Nowhere near the years that he's had in the last couple of years, but still, he's still number one.
He'll get it. But you're right, recency bias for sure of what I seen yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Utoi Kamanu.
I'm with you.
I think he had a big year, man.
Yeah.
And
post-Origin.
He on Friday night, bully beast mode, and that is what the Melbourne Storm needed, because Nelson's not there anymore to do that, and they need that guy, and they need the punch, because they got so much cleanup. They got a lot of guys that are in the videos on Mondays, don't they?
Yep.
The Arrows and those workers. But man, he's he. What about did you see something yesterday, boys? It was about people who have left the Tigers.
It's a bad start.
Jeez, man. Well, that's ridiculous.
So 3 grand finals in a row.
Why did that happen to me? Hey, I break the mold for the Tigers.
You're the drought breaker. Madge's breaking droughts, beating good teams. You were the one that didn't break the drought.
Opposite's a hole. and then made them go worse.
I got windburn on this crack loop. I can't laugh that hard. That's
Sorry,
fucking,
man.
I'm with you, mate. Terrell May, outstanding year.
Yeah.
Papa, resurgent. Adam Fanua-Blake did his best work at the end of the year, but I reckon Stefano's my first pick, Payne second.
Yep.
Stefano after Origin 3 has been awesome. All right, back row. Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, Leka Halasima, Hudson Young, and Ali Katoa.
Katoa. Hudson, just ahead of Halasima.
Halasima,
Yeah.
wow. I agree.
Like, yeah, just Hudson, man, like he is, same thing when he's not on with Canberra, they're not the same. He's just a competitor. He's in everything. I love what he's about. But Katoa's just like we speak about wingers being good in the air. Like that, I'm telling you, he could win the game for Melbourne next week from like something like that. Like just slotting it out of the air.
Not the worst Clive Churchill bet next week. Guy like Ali
Here
Katoa.
you go again.
Yeah.
Just throwing things out there.
Yeah. He's probably going to be around 15s for you. He's going to give you value because of Munsters, Pappenhausen's, Grants,
Plenty
Hughes,
there, isn't there?
Walsh, Carrigan,
Reynolds. How good is
Do
it?
your best trying to pick Clive Churchill next week. I'm with you. Leka Halasima, breakout, unbelievable year. Liam Martin's probably my first back row I'll pick no matter what.
Yeah.
If I actually go
Even
into still, like he's an animal.
No love for Jacob Preston this year?
Fuck, he would have been close.
Surely top 5.
I would have had him over Angus Crichton for the nominations.
Man.
Yeah.
Did you see him in that game last week?
Yeah,
Like I know that doesn't matter, but mate, he was week in, week out.
Yeah.
I know he had a little period off. Still though.
I'll tell you what, Hudson Young too, I was arguably as impressed with Hudson Young in both of their losses in the finals, believe it or not, than I've ever been. So, like Hudson Young tried to will his team to a victory. They didn't get the victories, but he was so. And I know it's a regular season award, and he did enough in the regular season to still get it. But I thought, even though in a beaten side and they went back to back, he was awesome throughout the finals. The lock position: Aaron Clark, Isaiah Yeo, and Nafahu White.
Clark.
Aaron Clark.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Nafahu Nafahu had a good season.
The way I look at it a lock is you got to be so multi-skilled now. That's just the way I look at it. It's probably not judged like that.
That's fair. I reckon they'll judge.
But Aaron Clark, man, he's intent and aggression to get off the line to whack people, but then he's also silky ball playing and the ability to know when to tip on, when to play out the back. You need that now in the game, and the Warriors need it this year.
Yep.
Losing Metcalf, they needed a 13 who was going to dominate a little bit for two halves that don't necessarily take full control.
Yeah.
So, mate, I thought he was brilliant, but Nafahu's he put himself on the stage as the next Hargraves.
Yeah.
I think
he's their emotional leader now, isn't he? I think really Aaron Clark was another person who struggled a little bit after the Metcalf injury because he was having his joy because all the eyeballs were on Metcalf. That's when he was having his joy through the middle. So Aaron Clark, I reckon, just holds on for lock of the year for me. Rookie of the year, Isaiah Yongi, Leka Halasima, Rob Toya.
Halasima. Yep.
Just. I thought Isaiah Yongi.
If he doesn't miss that period, he gets it. I think.
I think it becomes a closer contest, but I thought Leka was just. He come up with like 3 or 4 match winners.
Oh man!
Like, you know what I mean? On top of the stats, it's not like he wasn't providing stats as well. Like they lose 3 games without Leka Halasima coming up with something big. Dating all the way back to I think the Tigers in round 3 or 4 off the bench.
I remember
when he had that 60-meter break.
Campbelltown. Ridiculous. Broke the hearts of all the Westies.
The Newcastle game, like that.
Yes.
That essentially led to Adam O'Brien getting sacked.
Yeah.
Like he basically got a coach sacked because Newcastle threw everything about that game.
What a game.
They didn't win another game after that.
You know what, mate? There's a knack to that. And then people just think, but do you remember who done it for the Tigers when I was there multiple times? Have a think about it if you can just remember.
Tigers when you were there.
We won a couple of games on the buzzers. Like a back rower, similar guy, come off the bench a bit. It's a tough one. I'll give it to you. Michael Cheekham.
The Chee!
Remember when
he did?
Bro.
He did. I played with the Chee.
Yeah, he was, mate, what a guy.
Yeah,
I love it. But like a couple of games, like similar where...
He did. The Broncos game?
Yes.
The Broncos game?
At a big game at Suncorp. And then there was also one at Combank. I can't remember exactly who it was against, but it might have been Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
And mate, just 450, 40 metres out, broke tackles, bang, try time.
So strong, fast.
Big
been around.
base,
Yeah,
big ass.
Good base, good base. He's a real character too, Cheese.
Oh,
isn't he?
legend.
Yeah, love him. I think he went back to Manly this year. I wonder if he's got.
I think he retired.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, look, that's off a second source, but
Yep.
someone said to me the other day, I'm pretty sure he's retired.
Okay. Yeah, he was a great teammate.
Best.
All right, captain of the year: James Tedesco, Cleary, and Stephen Crichton.
You'd have to go. Oof.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a tough one because, like, what's a good captain? What are they basing this on? Hos? What do you reckon? Like, what?
I think similar to the coach. I think most improved. I think maybe a less talented roster factors in.
Look, off that, you'd have to say Crichton, wouldn't you?
I think Crichton or Teddy.
Teddy. It's one of the two, but I just think if you're looking at the teams on paper, the Roosters are star-studded, whereas the Dogs are just the goers. They got some stars, but I just feel I don't know. And you see it week in, week out. You know, did you see the clip when he hurt himself on the bench and he's into the boys, like the leadership? It's not like I'm worried about myself right now. I've done my ankle.
Yeah.
I'm still a leader. I've still got to do things off the bench that not a lot of people will be able to do because they can't separate themselves and be unselfish in that moment. But once again, I'm probably being a little bit biased, but I see it day in, day out, man. He's the first one there.
I'll go Teddy, but I'll just go back to Critter. So calling the game last week, going down to the field, interviewing the Penrith Panthers players, seeing like I caught him for a little bit. So he comes up just as I'm about to interview Bizza. Yep. He has a chat to him, goes up to his brother, congratulates him, all right, going to another prelim. And then I seen him just like floating around and he was looking for people to talk to, but you could see he was just like looking out at the crowd and it was like just the disappointment of not being able to, like, yeah, some people care differently and you could tell he cares a fucking whole heap about the results. And I was just like, man, just felt like he was having a bit of a moment to himself, and I was like, "Fuck."
Well, he's not used to that, Holes.
Nah,
he's not used to that. He's not used to getting, unfortunately, barreled out.
Yeah,
he's
always healthy,
and it wouldn't be nothing. It wouldn't be nothing to do with the whole Dogs squad do at the moment, but he wouldn't be used to like a big margin like that, and he wouldn't even care that it's Penrith. It's not that but he's just not used to it. He's a winner, man. Everywhere he goes, everything he touches wins.
I'll go Teddy because I reckon, considering that the Roosters debuted about 6 or 7 players this year at the start of the year,
that's a good point.
Even though they lost a whole heap of players, to bring those young players through and they emerge like the Robert Toyas of the world, like the Celestia Fikettis, like the Benaya Yellows off the bench.
All the young halves.
Taylor Lasalu was he was doing scaffolding or fucking something like that. He was a tradie.
Yep.
Fucking on Sunday after they were playing on Friday.
That's crazy, man.
And he was just willing his team to victories.
Yeah, you're right. And individually, like he was stepping up in those moments, wasn't he?
Coach of the Year, Cameron Ciraldo, Michael Maguire, and Ricky Stewart.
Oh, that's a tough one. Who will they give it to?
It's got to be Sticky.
I was just about to say,
yeah,
minor premiers with such a young squad.
Only 4 or 5 losses in the regular season.
That's amazing, isn't it? That's pretty good. Yeah. Will Sticky go? He probably won't go, mate. No, he's not going. He's doing the little face pop up. He's still fuming, mate. He's still fuming.
Do you reckon he's doing the Zoom chat like, what do we do with Fozzie?
Riverside.
Riverside. He's doing Riverside.
But he'll still have the headphones with the... Oh, man.
With the attachment. He doesn't have the...
bungled up.
He doesn't have the
pods.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
No Bluetooth for Sticky. That's the best. 100%.
This is a funny one.
He's going to get Coach of the Year. He'll go.
I don't know.
All right.
Ricky does whatever he wants, man. He doesn't care.
Proven Summons Medal. This is, I think it's the storyline of the year, right?
So I was just looking it up to. It's awarded to the player deemed by the Dally M judges to have displayed true spirit of the game.
Okay. So Jerome Lawley and Lachlan Galvin
Together,
hugging after the game is deemed one of those moments.
So they'd have to go up on...
Speaking of not turning up...
What are they sitting together?
They'd have to go up and collect it together, wouldn't they?
The NRL better not do that. They will, though. They definitely will.
The other one's Jamal Fogarty. What would he have done? Can you remember what his moment was?
Can you believe...
Zach Lomax, I reckon,
With the kid?
The kid and I don't know if
Yes.
you've seen it.
Let me see.
What happened? I remember it.
It was before a game. A kid got hurt and injured, and he went up and gave him a
That's
bit of
right.
a pep talk.
That's nice. Yeah, see, that'll get it. But, like, to put those two... That's mental. That is absolute madness. They were the fakest cuddles I've ever seen. Oh man, that is. What's the Jamal one?
Jamal. What would Jamal have done? I'm trying to think of his moment.
He's always good though. He's always
Maybe just his work in the community, because I know Jamal Fogarty does a whole heap of that. So that could be his show.
I was reading Canberra Raiders Times. Let's see. Oh, I need to pay for it.
I want to see Jerome Luai and Lachlan Galvin win it, so they get up there together.
talking about not going.
And they can talk about it on Thursday at their golf day.
Oh, yep. Jerome will be there.
Man, that they can't. Don't do it to him.
Yeah.
Do it to the boys.
Before we get to the games, breaking down the games, last night after I returned from the call, I just wanted to get raw emotion and the thoughts of Kieran Foran. This is the last episode with our partners at Athlete that have been on all year with Fozzie and Money. We'll do another episode after the season finishes where we'll sit down, maybe have a chat on a couch, bring him in here. But this is Fozzie's raw thoughts and emotions after the Broncos stunned the Panthers last night.
Well, welcome back to the final episode brought to you by Athlete of the Season. Firstly, I just want to thank you, Foz, for the season, mate. It's been a real pleasure to chat to you throughout the season, alternating between yourself and our man Money, who is 7 days away from a grand final. I am... By the way, we're going to have a catch-up after the season. We'll get together. We'll sort something out. Just want to, again, reiterate and thank Athlete for the season, for sponsoring this segment. They've been awesome all year round.
Mate, how good are they?
But, mate, I just got home from calling the game.
Yep.
Brisbane Broncos have eliminated the Penrith Panthers. I don't even have any run sheet. Let's just talk, right?
Yep.
They have just eliminated the Penrith Panthers to book a place in the grand final to play Money and the Melbourne Storm. It was about an hour and a half ago. I think I still got the shakes a little bit from the game. What a performance.
Unbelievable, Hoz. I was sitting in the lounge room with the family, and at 14-0, you could have sworn Penrith were home. They don't lose too many when they're in front at half time. And to see the way Brisbane hung in there, specifically after half time when Penrith had a mountain of ball on their try line and they kept turning up and scrambling and saving try after try after try, I look back at that moment in the game and I feel as though that won it for them. Yes, they got some possession and they got some ball at the end of the game to win it. But I look back on that period there where they defended their line on back-to-back sets, and they thoroughly deserve to be going on to the big dance next week.
Can I give you one specific moment, mate? And I can't. He is not a human being. Payne Haas.
Yep.
Put it down in my notes. 65 minutes to go. 14-6 down.
Yep.
Nathan Cleary goes to put in a grubber kick. It deflects off Jordan Ricky into Blaise Salungi. Payne Haas somehow gets there from the middle of the field, dives on the loose ball. They end up having to do another repeat set, and they just hang on. I want to give a huge shout out to Tyson Smoothie, who picked the ball up from his shoelaces to set after.
Yep.
But, mate, that period of play for the Broncos is the reason why they're in the grand final.
No, you're spot on, Hoz. And on top of that, how many times did they shift to the right-hand side, Penrith? And it looked like Alamotti was going to go in the corner, and they just scrambled. Like they just kept turning up. For me, that's a team that deserves to be in the grand final. And full credit to Brisbane, because they had to come from behind. Like that's a big win for them. They're down 14-0 to turn that game around against Penrith, as I touched on, who have won game after game from being in front. Mate, huge victory, huge.
It's a huge victory for the franchise. It's a huge victory for the culture that Madge is trying to create there. It was a huge victory for Adam Reynolds kicking that goal from the sideline to right those wrongs. And it was a huge, like Ben Hunt, the storyline with Ben Hunt, the fact that this Penrith team beat them 2 years ago in the grand final. The
Yep.
storylines out of this game are
Yep.
just, I've never seen anything like it. I've been lucky enough to call both games now. The
Yep.
game that they had against the Canberra Raiders, I didn't think a game could match that. I thought that was one of the best finals games I've ever seen in my life. What the Broncos produced, I think maybe the fashion of the game wasn't as entertaining as the Canberra games, but the stakes way higher.
Yeah, spot on, Hos. And I touched on it through, actually a couple of days ago, I was on Fox and I asked Reno how much time they would have put into this week to reliving 2023, right?
Yep.
Because for me, that's a wonderful motivator. Like when you're out on your feet and you're fatigued as all hell, looking back and having that game in your mind will pull you out of that. And you could see Brisbane had this fire in their belly at about 65-minute mark, as you touched on with Payne Haas. They had a fire in their belly to get retribution. And it just, the way in which they fought and they hung in there and they turned the momentum, as we touched on, mate, I think, like you said, the storylines around Adam Reynolds, Ben Hunt specifically, for me, those two, yes, that majority of the side played in the 2023 grand final, but when you look at those two guys and the way their careers have gone and how long they've been in the game and they've experienced the highs and the lows, and we talk about Benny Hunt, the 2015 grand final, 10 years on, he gets the opportunity to go back to the big dance and to potentially win the Broncos a grand final. To me, that is one of the most incredible storylines. And then Reno, gone up there, been captain of Brisbane for the last few years, done an incredible job, takes the kick tonight. Like there's just, those two guys specifically stand out for me, mate.
I'd imagine you can relate to Renault and Hunty to a degree more
For
than
sure.
anyone, right? You both won competitions really early on in your career. You figured you started to really, I don't know, like I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but a lot of people that, sort of go through it so early, they probably don't appreciate as much because they just think it's going to be around the corner. Now he's got an opportunity. He's in his fourth grand final. He gets to right the wrongs of he was the one who not started the dynasty, but his missed kick against them in that final at Suncorp Stadium was the first premiership that the Penrith Panthers got. So for him to step up in that moment and have the ability to knock it over, I know you can just fully appreciate that more than anyone.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I was sitting on my lounge room watching it, and when they said Renault's taken the ball off Walsh, I just sat up, Hozzy, because
I got goosebumps, and I'm getting goosebumps now.
I just thought, what a moment for this guy, and I'll say this, when you're a young bloke, and I won a premiership when I was a young guy, and you come into an established side and you win it around experienced players, it's a wonderful feeling, right? And you play a role within that premiership, but the feeling of Ben Hunt and Adam Reynolds right now would be that they are the masterminders behind this campaign, and they pull the strings, right? So to win one now at this latter stage of their career at 35, that's what all us old blokes have been holding on to for the last 8. Mate, ask me and Daly the same question. Like we talk all the time. We say, mate, he always goes to me, Fozzie, we won one early, but how good would it be to win one late?
Yeah.
And look, I got to the point where I realised, I dug in there as long as I could, and I wasn't able to do that. But I could not be happier for the position that Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt find themselves in right now. And you talk Benny Hunt, he hasn't won one yet. What a moment these guys are going into next week.
So next week, Melbourne Storm present a challenge, and we'll get to that because I was just all over your coverage on Friday to absolutely killed it with Izzy Katoa, Braith and Coops.
Thanks, Hoss.
That you could argue that they're a better team next week. Paddy Carrigan returns.
I know. Oh, it's a hard one to pick, Hodge. Look, I feel Melbourne are so well positioned, I've got to say. And I've been teetering on the edge with Melbourne. But I've honestly got to say, after watching their performance against Cronulla and the fashion in which Hughes returned in Pappenhausen and the quality of Grant and Munster, for mine, they're favourites. I just feel
Yes, they
like,
are.
and you take into the equation the 2-day break that they've had over Brisbane.
Yeah.
They,
Normally, Foz. Normally,
yep,
when I do this, I'll ask you. Normally, I ask the question like this: if these two teams played 10 times,
yep,
I would argue that maybe the Melbourne Storm wins 6 out of 10. But I'm even
yeah,
going to go further. I think if these two teams play 100 times,
yep.
I think Melbourne Storm win 51 of them, and maybe the Broncos win 49. Like, I want to bring the percentage all the way closer,
Oh, it's
because
hard.
let's get to the storylines of the Melbourne
Yep,
Storm. You called it.
yep,
The build up was awesome. The
yep.
game was awesome. The performances from Jerome Hughes and Money in particular. What about how relaxed Money is in the group chat just before giving it to you about your phone not charging, your Wi-Fi?
He
He's
perks
7
up
days
all.
away from another grand final.
He perks up all the time, Money, and I touched on this bloke before the game with Coops, but his performance during that game, it's as good as I've seen in a preliminary final. Like, mate, it was out of this world, the way in which Cameron Munster performed. His running game, and I just texted it before in the chat, you would have seen it, it was elite. Like, it was, mate, if he
He's
can
basically
replicate...
playing like a lock, Fozzie.
Well, he is. Yeah, and this is what I love about Cameron Munster and I love about his game. I love the fact that he doesn't go into a game with this structured plan. He doesn't go in thinking, okay, I'm going to get to this part of the field and I'm going to put on this particular play and then I'm going to get to this part of the field and I'm going to do this. He goes into a game and he just knows I've got to take the line on. And I've just got to build the game. And mate, if he's having joy with his running game, there is no one better. And we saw
How
that
does
the
he
other
not?
night.
He's so strong. How does he not have joy,
Yeah.
Foz? Like, I remember when we spoke after Origin 1, right?
Well,
It was on this
it's
platform.
the $1 million question, Hoss. How did Brisbane stop Munster's running game? Because to be honest, he ran for over 170 metres the other night. No, it's ridiculous, though. He's run for over 170 metres.
Yeah.
He's had, 2 line breaks, close to 5+ tackle breaks. The bloke is an animal on the big stage. Then you throw Jerome Hughes in there as well. Like, that. If I'm Madge, the only thing I'm focusing on this week is how do I nullify Munster and Hughes? How do I stop their running game?
Yeah, you're right, and it's going to be so tough. And here's another thing on top of that. So normally when you get a running 5'8" like Munster,
Yep.
you probably associate that with having like a game managing 7. Like
Yeah.
Hughes ain't a game managing 7. He's running just as much. He
Mate.
ran he with his broken fucking arm
Yep.
ran 30 meters, went through the line,
Yep.
and even landed on it. Like I was watching closely,
Yeah.
he landed
Yep.
on it and come up with a huge play. 15 minutes in, I reckon that deflated the Sharks.
Spot on. Spot on. And that's the thing. Like, you look at their whole spine. They're all runners. So you go
Yep.
Grant,
Harry,
Hughes,
yep.
Munster, Pappenhausen. Like, they were just all running galore the other night. Sharks had no answer for it. And so if I'm Melbourne, I want to replicate that. And if I'm Brisbane, I want to find a way to shut that down. But yeah, I mean, look, as you've touched on, the storylines out of this game are incredible. And I would be happy for both particular players and both sides to win. But we talk
Same.
about Money, our man Munster, and the
Yep.
year he's had. And I touched on it the other night, that just what he's been throughout the season. And to think that he could come out the other side and lead Melbourne to a premiership, that in itself is just an extraordinary story in my eyes, Oz.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, mate. And I said this all year. The Melbourne Storm were the favourites for large portions of the season.
Yep.
And I kept on telling them, I said, yeah, look, they're going to be thereabouts, but they're nowhere near as polished as they've been in years past. They've flicked the switch.
For sure.
There was never any panic. They get to
Yep.
big games. They know how to win big games. The Sharks, they were a real dangerous outfit who were going down to Melbourne with a lot of confidence.
Yep.
And to be honest, the scoreline was close, but I was never really worried about Melbourne's chances of progressing because you could tell they just know how to win moments.
Can I ask you a question? How much has that game today taken out of Brisbane?
That's got to be huge, mate. It's got. I always said the 48 hours.
Yeah.
The 48 hours, and I think even little Lenny agrees. She's woken up. She's laughing about it, mate. That was like I can't believe that the NRL had such a big gap before such a huge
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And touch wood for the Broncos. It seems as though the majority of the players got through unscathed. So hopefully there's no
Yeah.
niggles that we're going to find out about. I guess
Yeah.
maybe one concern would have been a couple of wayward tackles. I thought Xavier Wilson.
For sure.
In the first half, he had a couple of moments he'd love to have back. He had an
Yeah.
excellent second stint. I'll give you one more storyline, and then we'll let you go, Foz. We'll be able
For
to
sure.
wrap it up, and
We
then
could
I'm going to
talk
be
all
doing,
night on this, Oz.
mate. I'm going to be doing the potty with Grubby tomorrow, so I'm looking
Yep.
forward to doing that.
Yep.
Payne Haas versus Stefano Uto Ikamanu.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, when you look at Stefano's performance the other night,
He was awesome.
he was out of this world, mate. Like, I touched on it on Fox, the way in which he set the game up early in the first 25 minutes, and we always talk about our big men laying the platform, but he really took that challenge head on. Like they tried to come out and get Stefano Utoikamanu, and he just bumped Sharks player after Sharks player after Sharks player off, and he just kept getting through the line. And when you think about that battle now, you know, he would have gone into that Sharks game thinking of the personal battle against Adam Fanua-Blake. He'll now be looking at Payne Haas and going, well, here's another one. And
Mate, no one was giving him a chance against Adam.
for sure, I agree.
A lot of people were going to write him off against Payne.
Yep.
He's been arguably the most consistent prop in the competition since Origin 3.
I'll say this, Payne's a different beast to Adam Fanua-Blake, isn't he? Like,
Fair.
and they're
Fair.
both elite. They're both potentially 1 and 2 when we talk about front rows in the competition. That is no disrespect to Adam Fanua-Blake. I'm a huge admirer of his. I reckon he's right up there in the top 3 best front rowers in our game.
Payne's just a little bit more.
But Payne will go to those real dark places with Stefano, won't he? Like when the game gets on the line, and we saw Payne Haas's statistics tonight. I think he had 180 plus metres, Hoz, 46 tackles, 0 misses.
Can I throw one more stat at you, Fozzie?
Yeah, throw it at me.
He only had 65 in the first half, so he got better as the game went on, and the harder the game got.
Yeah.
And he played all out. Adam Fanua-Blake and Stefano can play 80 minutes, and they've done it before in their careers. Payne Haas just did it in a preliminary final without Paddy Carrigan to go into a grand final against Penrith.
Look, Payne,
He's a freak.
Well, Payne is the elite, isn't he? Like when we talk about front rowers, Payne is
He's a one of one.
Yeah, the way in which he performs week in, week out is so elite. So this battle between Stefano, who's an up and comer and would be probably idolising Payne in the background, probably looks at his game and goes, I want to get there, I want to be there. Well, here's his chance.
New South Wales teammates in Origin this year.
Yeah, here's his chance, Hoz.
Here's his chance. Foz, I love doing this with you. Mate, I can't wait. We've got a big week coming up together too.
Yep.
You've got a huge weekend. The NRL are going to celebrate your career. What an outstanding career it's been. It's been an absolute pleasure for me to be a part of that in only a small way. We've got our golf day coming up on Thursday, and we'll be doing a grand final show at Bondi with more details to come. So I'll let more people know about that later in the week on our Thursday show. But can't wait to see you over the weekend, brother.
Can't wait, Hoz. Thank you very much. Great to do the last show with you, mate.
All right, there we go. Those are the thoughts of Fozzie. By the way, this is an interesting one as well. It is being reported that it's a 99.9% chance that Grant Atkins will get the grand final. So apparently, Klein's preliminary final officiating of the Storm Sharks, where he blew 18 penalties
Yep.
could cost him the grand final. We'll get to the game a little bit in the Broncos Panthers. I guess there was one call where I thought the Panthers were really hard done by on the Casey McLean offside. Didn't think that was
Mate, come on.
yeah.
Anyway.
I tell you
But
what,
that was in my opinion, that was a touchy call as well because Grant Atkins went to go play on, and then it was like a delayed whistle.
Big call, man.
So that for me, that is the touchy that's made that call. In saying that, I think Grant Atkins is the best referee. Been saying this for a while. Been in the Grant Atkins camp. So if he does get it, I'll be pumped for him.
if you need something done in the NRL, you just got to get Joey to say it.
Is that what Joey said?
On Sunday, he was
There you
very
go.
critical on the footy show of just referee. It wasn't specific, but obviously
There was
there was
multiple.
one game before that.
Yeah.
on
Multiple over the
18
weekend.
penalties? No, man.
Yeah.
Not in semi-finals.
That's twice now we sort of raised the voice pre-Magic round, and then all the stuff happened after that, and then this occasion
Yeah,
as well.
Get shit done, doesn't
Well,
he? Yeah.
They listen, but it's so true. Like it goes against what the NRL are trying to do: speed the game up, put fatigue into big guys, and you blow 18 penalties.
Well, look, even if you look at yesterday's game, because I was like, we were talking about it pre-game, and they're like, what's the reaction going to be like from Grant Atkins considering Ashley Klein was getting all this criticism for his game on Friday night? And you know what I said? Like, I've watched Grant Atkins, even when, you remember when all that shit was happening around the high tackles and people getting sent off? Like, Grant Atkins has got the ability to go rogue. He's been rogue a couple of times where it's like he goes outside of what everyone else is doing. For the most part, Ashley Klein has determined how other referees officiate games because he's basically been the main referee on Thursdays or Fridays. Everyone else has to follow suit. Grant Atkins calls his own game, and I hope he gets it because I think he is. Him and Adam G anyway are my top two referees, and I reckon we'll get a good free-flowing game between two really good attacking teams on next Sunday if he does get there.
Well, I was speaking about the Friday night's game, the ball in play, like how low it was. Like, man, that's not what
It was stop-start.
no one wants to see. That
No one wants to see
So, and I'm with you. Like, I just think Adkins at the moment, he understands, but he also, like you say, he has pressure on him because he you know
sure.
he had one hand on the trophy for the ref. Like, that's what you want. That's your main game, right?
Well, like everyone in the comment section and the messages for us at radio were saying this is Grant Atkins' grand final to lose going into that grand final.
Yeah, good call.
Because of the poor officiating on Friday. All right, let's get to the Storm 22 defeating the Sharks 14. My first notes are in and around Jerome Hughes. Grubby already touched on that. That was his OG ball. So if you've missed that breakdown around Jerome Hughes, just go back and watch our OG ball. So we talked a lot about Jerome Hughes already. I want to go straight to Munster now. With our athlete segment, I sat down with Money after game one of Origin. I said, Money, when you're on reflection of how bad that first game went, as a six, as a playmaker, we're like, you can throw penalties, you can throw your forwards, you didn't get on the front foot. What are the things that you can control? Like, if you go into game two in order to get a victory for Queensland, what are the things that you can control? And he goes, my best asset is my running game. I was thinking too much kick. I wasn't thinking about my running game. And I swear to you, and that's why he's been my number 6, 5'8" of the year, his running game, he's been running ever since game one of Origin. Like, he's been running a minimum of feels like at least 15 carries a game.
Yep.
And he's basically like another forward. He had 20 for 193.
It's ridiculous. And Hoz, the one thing we speak about with the running game as well, what Munster does different to any half in the game is, okay, every video session, every forward, all they talk about is getting people to the ground, putting them on their back. Why can't you put this bloke on his back? And they're like, no, but that's what used to happen in videos. Yeah. Like, Des would be like, this fucking little number 6, and he, like, you can't put him on his back. But this is what he does, right?
Yeah.
Which creates fast play the balls, awkward play the balls. He's stepping over people to the side, and then Harry just gets out the unorthodox style, and that's how Melbourne generate their quick play the balls.
Can I throw another one at you? And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes he's in a tackle holding 2 forwards. A player will come in and chop his legs really well. They finally get him to the ground, but then he like curls up like a turtle. He does, mate. You know what I'm talking about, right? So he does this thing where he like everything comes in tight, and then he gets taken to the ground, but then he just goes and flips him straight off like an
So
armadillo.
strong, man.
Is that the animal? Like an armadillo when they roll up in a circle, right? And they go.
I don't know what armadillo is, but
Go, get me an armadillo. They can roll their bodies around and their tails underneath. So when someone tries to bite an armadillo, it goes into the shell.
Yeah.
He rolls, and players go from a dominant tackle to falling off top.
You know, if I was still playing and I played against you, I'd say, get on your back, you armadillo. But you're right, mate. And he all he's doing at the moment is running. And when I say all he's doing, that's his main focus. And he's just got that vicious palm that keeps people at distance. It's ridiculous. But like I said before, Hoz, on the big stage, he's not just doing those little things. He's doing the kick. Sorry, he's not just running. He's doing the kick pressures. He's coming up with those little silky try-assists to Pappenhausen. Come on, man. Like that's their moments.
Great execution.
Do you know how hard that kick is?
Great
if you
execution.
He's off balance, kicking back, but a depth touch.
It was a little hop and a skip too before it, like to get his balance.
And then Pappenhausen to finish that, it's
Awesome.
just unbelievable. But big stage, Munster, it's what he does. And that's the thing, you know what I love about him? Like, he doesn't try and, he's not Cooper Cronk where he'll break down and tell you why and this and that. He just says, well, because my best attribute's my running game.
Yeah.
But it literally is, and you see it, and you see how he grows off it, and you think, he can't run again. Like, sometimes, no, you do. And he just goes, that big, like a palm, quick play the ball. Mate,
little hop and a
so
skip.
good.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Like and the reason I reckon he sometimes doesn't get maybe Dally M votes or the recognition as the season goes on, because he'll happily take a carry on the fourth tackle to get a quick play the ball, which leads to a try, which is not a stat that gets appreciated, like Supercoach wise, or betting wise, or from your average fan. But when Jerome Hughes appreciates it, Ryan Pappenhausen appreciates it, the right side of the Storm, Ali Katoa. The reason Ali Katoa can sometimes go up, get the ball isolated one-on-one, is because Munster, or in and around Munster, has created a quick play the ball on the left that they come back to the right and they have some joy.
Well, what's everyone's play now on fourth tackle a lot of the time when you're coming out of trouble? Fullback run on fourth.
Yep.
But you've got Pappenhausen doesn't really do that.
No.
You got Munster as a 5'8", like you said, but you don't get no real credit for it. But like you said, if you're a half kicking off the back of that, thanks for coming.
So good. Stefano, we talked about him again in our props. I want to talk a little bit more because going into this game, I picked Melbourne with no confidence because I thought the Sharks forward pack were just so good off the back of Adam Fanua-Blake, and I really didn't give him enough. Even though I thought his consistency's been awesome, I didn't know he had this performance in him to go to another level. But he took it personal, mate.
Oh, man.
He got the bumper bars up multiple times. And when you look back on it on reflection now at the Canterbury game, there was a lot of criticism in and around Bailey Hayward in that game. 15 missed tackles. Stefano, any opportunity he got, it's not always about being the biggest and the toughest as well, Grubby.
No.
Like, that's really important. You got to be smart.
Old school mentality.
You got to be smart. Finding a fucking spot, finding a smaller guy, getting the bumpers into him, generating a quick play the ball, and he did that again. Like he doesn't have to go run. He doesn't have to run at Adam Fanua-Blake and Toby Rudolph to be tough.
No,
he can go pick out Blake Brayley. He can go pick out a Billy Burns, who is a great story, but nowhere near as physical as the other two. So it's work harder, not smarter. I mean, work smarter, not harder.
Utokamanu and Katoa, I felt their 1-2 punch at the start of the game. I was just sort of thinking, how do you stop that? Because they're two guys that made it personal. You know what's happened? And this is what happened. The Sydney curse. All week in the papers, it was about Fanua-Blake, how good he's going. And he is. Yeah. Toby Rudolph's on all these shows. These blokes are in Melbourne just going like this, Oz. How good this? No pressure, no nothing. But you know what? When game day comes, I'll show you. The first couple of runs, mate. I don't know who he went over. Utoy, bang, someone shot in the back, and then again, mate. And it very physical, and not even just them two. King, When it wasn't early, but when did he whack Rudolph? And he felt it, mate. I think it might have even been second half.
Yeah, it might have been his second stint when he come back in fresh off his second stint.
And the
Toby's been playing awesome.
I wouldn't say that's what I mean. On fire.
Yeah.
But we're hearing about it, aren't we, a lot? But the Melbourne, and that's why Melbourne say that, and Munster's come up. I think he said it before, mate. Down here in Melbourne, no one really knows. We don't hear about all this Telegraph stuff and all this bullshit.
Money come on ours, and he does our show every week, and we talked about all he did was praise Cronulla. That's all he did. Like,
Too smart.
Cronulla throughout the week, where's our respect going on? And I love too. I'm not going to sit here now and be the sort of guy that just fucking hammers Cronulla.
Yeah.
During it, I was like, you know what? They probably need a little bit of edge about them because I probably wouldn't have gone like we deserve respect, and I probably would have gone about it a different way. But I wasn't opposed to them talking their shit and backing it up because I love that. I love it when people do that. In saying that, you don't see it from Penrith and you don't see it from Melbourne because they don't need to because they've already got the runs on the board. So there's like this. It's like I'm playing devil's advocate
I hate
with
the
myself,
fucking word,
Grubby.
bro.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the word respect.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I love the Sharks. I back the Sharks.
Yeah.
I love the team. I love their dynamic. But fuck, man, it used to kill me. It used to kill me, like when I'd hear should be respected. Fuck off. For what? Like, why?
You get the respect when you win.
When you cross that, man, I'm not even, I probably went way too far because even the guys that, earned the respect, as soon as we cross that line, man, there's no respect. No, but I'm like, but
you pride in yourself on not giving respect.
But I also, once we finish, utmost, like to the guys that earn it,
and even the guys that earn
the word respect,
even
man,
the guys that earn it against you, they still struggle.
Just get it. No.
After the game, they're like, fuck,
I'm like jealous.
Don't be a good cunt.
No, but that got me, Hoz. Like, and Fitzy, he sort of come out and said, like we haven't earned the respect, but the media roll on with it. One person might have said it or something thereabouts, but boys, come on. Like, unfortunately, in these bigger games, same thing keeps happening.
Yeah.
And Fitzy said that. I love what he said.
Got to tick that box.
And he also said, we are a really good team.
Yes.
Yet to be a great team. And that's what Melbourne understand. And I thought that was one of his best quotes of the weekend.
Well, I had that in my notes as well. Like, I think, maybe I just took a mental note of that one. But yeah, totally agree. They're going to be, they've just got to, we'll get to the Sharks in a little bit. Before I want to move off, Ali Katoa. I want to stay on Ali Katoa. I think he emerged last year and become a premier back rower. I think in his mind, at least, there's a feeling that he is the guy.
Yep.
So he's no longer a good story. He's no longer that Melbourne Storm player that goes down there and emerges. He feels like he's the dude. And I mean that by at the back end of the game, the part that impressed me the most about Ali Katoa, he took 2 or 3 yardage carries. Not on the right side. In the middle of the field, he went looking for work because he looked around and he said fatigue setting in for his outside backs. Normally, that's the job of Xavier Coates, Will Warbrick, Nick Meaney. He went, you know what? My role is now to get in for that yardage carry. I think there might have even been a time where it went Munster, Katoa, and then Munster or something like that. Like it was ridiculous. It was like everyone else was gassed and they're trying to suck in the big ones to make sure they got their energy for defence. He is so much better equipped this year going into this grand final than he was last year.
Mate, and that's the thing. Like we all think of the big players this week. He's actually in my top 3. And then think of all the players who are in that game. Because they're all gonna, the spines are gonna try and work each other out. They're gonna have a couple of big moments, 1 or 2 each. Reece Walsh is gonna be absolutely everywhere trying, but someone like Katoa, he's going to have an impact because he's going to be doing damage, trying to run over the top of whoever plays in the halves of the Broncos. Might be Benny Hunt if he starts again.
Yep.
It would be interesting to see if Mam actually starts. Yeah. But then you just know if it's so close neck and neck and Jerome Hughes or Money, he's going to be thereabouts for a big moment.
So I was looking at this as you were going too, off the back of he's in your top 3. The Clive Churchill Medal futures right now, he is just barely hanging on the top 10 in the screen. So here are some of the names for you. Try to pick this. The 2 co-favourites are Harry Grant and Cam Munster at 6s. Then it's Reece Walsh at 7. Jerome Hughes, 750. Pappenhausen, 8. Payne Haas 9, Adam Reynolds 12, Paddy Carrigan $12, Ali Katoa 15s, Ezra Mam 17s, Ben Hunt 19s, Trent Liero 26s, Tony Staggs at 34s is not the worst bet.
Would that be the most star-studded we've seen in a long,
Stefano at 41s, don't hate that value.
Man, I'm telling you, Hoz is that he's going to be so close. If you want value, get on. There's a
Which
few.
one?
No, get on the Uto Commanders, get on the Katoas.
People who have a punt on the Clive Churchill, I reckon, in this grand
Who's the
final.
last forward that's won one?
The last forward. So last
been a long
year,
time, I remember
Liam Martin won it last year.
Yeah, because last year we were having the discussion and then a forward won it.
Yeah. So
Oh,
Liam,
really?
It makes sense.
Liam Martin, 23 was Nat with the comeback.
Yep.
22 was Dylan Edwards against Para.
Yep. I think it was.
And then 21 was Nat against South.
COVID.
2020 was Pappenhausen got Cam. They paid out Cam Smith, and then because he had an awesome, and then Pappy come home and got it 2020. 2019, then we start going back to the Roosters, don't we? Is that Teddy?
I'm not sure.
No, Jack Whiten won it in a beaten team.
He did.
But I reckon Hargrave should have won that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is 19-1, Jack Whiten?
Yeah, it was.
All right, let's get to the Sharks anyway.
Yep.
Some odds there if you're going to have a play on the Clive Churchill. We'll discuss that more on Wednesday. This is what you're talking about. Nailed the presser. Sharks are a really good team. I did write it down. Storm are great. Basically, that's what he's leading to. The Adam Fanua-Blake addition has paid dividends. Despite they finishing at the same spot, they are a better team this year than they were last year, in my opinion. They've just got to find a way to finish these moments at this point of the year. And as we have seen now, that week off is huge. They need to find a way to finish in the top four.
Yep.
They slipped out of it this year. They've been a perennial sort of top six team for the years that Fitzy's been in control. They need to finish top four. They need to win that first week of finals, give themselves an opportunity to have a break, because you could see that was a factor for both the Broncos and the Storms to get in the grand final.
Huge. To be honest, probably more Penrith yesterday.
Yep.
And we'll get into that. Never seen them like that.
At the back end of the game. Yeah. They were hanging on, weren't they?
Literally by a thread. Martin went off. When's that ever happened?
Yeah, well.
Anyway. But for the Sharkies, I've got a question for you. Okay, so spine, always healthy and found their groove this year.
Yep.
Lots of pressure around them, but I think Brayley took a lot of pressure off them. The only query, and it's spoken about at the moment, is Kennedy.
Yep.
Could be on the outer.
Yep.
So
apparently they've offered him $300,000, which is like half of what he was on.
Well,
Maybe he was on $500,000.
He won't stay. That's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
No way. Really good pack.
Yep.
Adam Fanua-Blake has helped with that. Colquhoun.
Yep.
How do you get him out of the team now?
I like Calhoun.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then but a big mobile pack. You got Rudolph that gets belted, finds his front every time. Back rows that run the best lines in the NRL. Nelly.
Yep.
And outside backs who go to work. Strong in carries, good aerial threats. So what's wrong?
They just got to figure out, it's not, every team would love to improve in some way. Yeah, could they add a little bit more with either a fullback that can finish off a few more plays? By the way, I'm a Will Kennedy fan as well.
Yeah.
But I think if there was an upgrade, maybe a little bit of creativity. You can't be perfect across the board, but they're fucking pretty good across the board, the Cronulla Sharks. I think it's now that mental thing, that trying to prove it to everyone else. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, Grubby, at the back end of the year. Maybe they need a Broncos team without Paddy Carrigan in a big finals game to be able to get it. Like they got a Storm team that had Jerome Hughes, Pappenhausen, question marks, but they returned, mate. They were there. Maybe they just need one of those to be missing to get the confidence up, to get past the hump that they're on now. And then once they prove it, they almost prove it to themselves, and they don't have that mental block going into
I've got a question for you. If they finish third, do they beat the Storm in week one?
Yep.
That's what they need? Is that what you're saying?
No,
the Dogs
yeah,
Dogs were close, mate.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
Yeah.
a B's.
Yep.
But is that what you're saying? They needed that because it was
It wouldn't guarantee to win.
Yep.
But they would have liked their chances with the momentum that they had for sure.
Yeah.
The way they played in those first 2 games, now it gave the Melbourne Storm the ability to get Pappenhausen and Hughes back, like I said, which was huge. They got to rest up during that period. Yeah, I'll keep going back into it. It didn't guarantee that they'd beat. They would have been a much better chance for sure.
Absolutely. And you know what? And this is what happens. Obviously, everyone blames Nico Hines and Trindle, and they weren't in the game. But people have got to also realise that Melbourne Storm do this on purpose. They nullify halves the best. For years they've done it.
Yep.
The best players go down to Melbourne. The best halves go down to Melbourne, and they can't play. Why? Because they put pressure on you constantly. They make you come up with plays that you don't constantly. Their outside back reads, that up and in defence, everyone's like, we know it's coming, but it's still so hard. They come up with one-on-one tackles all the time in big moments, and that's just what happened. They squeezed them. And, Nico Hines had a little Bo Peep, drops the ball. That all comes from pressure, mate.
Yeah.
That all comes from pressure, and Melbourne Storm do it the best in the NRL.
I'm a big Nico guy. I thought the way he's handled himself and the way he's played in the last 3 or 4 weeks has been awesome to watch. Fuck, you'd love to have that because you can deal with unforced errors. I mean, you can deal with forced errors.
Yeah.
Fitzy takes the penalty goal, which I was against too, by the way. Even in I was like, you know what? You're down there. You get very limited opportunities. And I said this again yesterday when the Broncos were in the same position against the Panthers. When you play against Penrith and Melbourne, you don't play to kick 2 points. You've got to go for tries.
You got to win.
You've got to try to win the game, mate.
Yeah.
You can't try to, kick 2, then score a try and then convert it, and then you got to play golden point with them. Fuck that.
No.
Go after the game.
Fuck yeah.
You're not going to beat Melbourne by kicking 2 points, trying to score, the pressure of converting it, and then beating them in a field goal. That's not going to happen.
We've got the upper hand there. You're in their half camp down there.
Apply the pressure. But then even saying that, in hindsight, they do that. Next set, they get down there. It all goes to plan for Fitzy. And then he drops the ball like that. Jeez, I felt for him.
Big moment.
I really felt for him. I felt for the Sharks fans because that you could see just that was the moment when they just went, that's it.
And you also felt that was the moment when Nico thought it was the moment.
Yeah.
Because everything lit up. He thought, this is my chance. This is my chance to prove every fucker wrong that I can't win big games. And this is the whole, it's always around the Sharks, isn't it? There's always that question around them. But I just think
when you talk about the Sharks, it starts with Nico every time. Fair or unfair?
Yeah, whether he likes it or not. But he's dealt with it really well this year, and he's had that bit of prick about him. Good on him.
Yep.
It's gone. You know what? Yeah, I'm sick of copping this shit from everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, But the one thing I do like about this year, Hoz, that I think moving forward is going to be good. Trindle's a 7 now.
Yep.
That's it. Out and out. I don't care that Nico wears the 7. Trindle's a 7 now. He's dictating terms. He's doing a lot of the kicking, whereas Nico's just out the back of sweep plays. We've seen last week, not last week, the week prior, we come out the back of the Canberra game, half fullback like how he was back in Melbourne.
Yep.
He's just pushing around the ruck. He's not waiting for the ball. Brayley goes, he goes.
Yep.
And that's what I think suits his style better. So he's just going to get better and better. But let's just say Kennedy goes, get out of here, 300K. What do you think I am?
Yeah.
Any news or anything that they could possibly pick up? Any young blokes?
They put a lot of work into Dykes, who's actually making his way to the Bulldogs.
Big
Grubby.
signing, yeah.
He did his ACL multiple times. A great fella to have had a little bit to do with him over the years. There's another young kid called Liam Eisen who got a couple of opportunities. He could be a shout to fill that role. He played in the New South Wales Cup now for a couple of years. So if they don't keep Kennedy, then I think that may be an option. But maybe they go to a market. Maybe they try to figure out if someone's a little bit unsettled. There are multiple teams in the competition that have 2 to 3 good fullbacks.
Yeah.
And even some younger guys. Look at... You can go through the list. Manly have 3 or 4. Tolu Kola, Lehigh Bawadi, Tom Travojevic. Melbourne have got Pappy at best, Sua Farlongo. Nick Meaney does a good job if he goes back there. So, yeah, trying to identify maybe a good young fullback who can break this team open. Another change that I would have made, and I said this before the game, not after the fact, Billy Burns has been one of the great stories of the finals. Britton Nickiter was on the bench for too long.
Man.
He had an impact as soon as he came on the field.
Yeah, and I also understand, Hoz, if someone's going really well, You know, you keep him
Rewarding
in the
them?
team, but not when you got him on the bench. No.
Because he's too good, mate.
Nah, he's elite. You need your best players to beat Melbourne. Not saying, and this is the thing, we're not taking anything away from Burns because I thought he was actually really good. But sometimes those unders lines, no one can stop him. He goes inside 4-man.
What about the Pappenhausen and was it Jerome? No, Money. Money was underneath him. How they saved that try. Like, fuck. Unbelievable.
Another Munster play that no one
another
really
huge play
speak
from
about.
Munster. You got to play him. And again, going back to remember we did the FaceTime with Money and he talked about, we go, Money, like, are you preparing, like, you'll be preparing for both, right? I said, you're expecting Nikita? I said, I'm expecting Britton Nikita. Are you expecting? And he was like, oh, nah. Billy Burns has been going too good. They can't afford to drop him. Like, he's
dictating to them. He's dictating to Fitzy.
Mate,
he's too smart.
He says everything. He's putting it out into the ethos. And again, Billy Burns is awesome, mate. Like, I don't want to take anything away from Billy Burns, but if we're talking back rows in the competition, I'm starting my conversation with Britton Nikita, Liam Martin, and Ali Katoa, especially if it's on the right side.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get to the Broncos 16 defeating the Panthers 14. Is Payne Haas superhuman?
No. Oh, mate, honestly, like it's ridiculous what he gets through, the amount of work. And Hoz, is this the first time that in a long time we've seen Penrith get out panthered? And I don't mean grind. I do not mean it wasn't set for set game. It wasn't the exact game Penrith would have wanted. But when do you ever see Penrith in the last 10 look absolutely gassed?
It was back and forth, and the other team found little moments where that's normally where Penrith do.
And you could see it in the Broncos that they were turning them away. Yep. There was a period there where Penrith were attacking the try. Nathan got the little nutty, got the ball back, 6 again, turned them away. My mate said it to me. He goes, "Oh mate, the Broncos should be tired." All of a sudden, that's set. Broncos are going oos, and you're like, how are they not tired? Haas is having carries, skipping overs to the halves, and then Panthers, Liam Martin starts getting. You're like, man, they look buggered, and that's when I started getting scared for Penrith. And then they get that little.
You know what it's like, Grubby, when you defend your line for that long and you actually come up and it's deflating for the team that's attacking.
Yep.
You take a little bit of confidence away, and then when you are able to withhold and push them away, and then you come up with a couple of big carries. Payne Haas, 65 minutes. So for the first one you're alluding to was a little grubber kick that Nathan Cleary did.
Yep.
Jordan Ricky tried to trap and scut. Nath gets on it, 6 again. I thought that's it. They're broken.
Same.
They're done.
Yep.
Nath's about to ice this game. He was so close. He puts in a kick. It deflects off Jordan Ricky again. Jordan Ricky into Blaise Talangi. Blaise Talangi goes forward. Blaise Talangi is the only player of relevance in the picture, except for a guy called Payne Haas in the 65th minute, no break, fucked ankle. I watched him against the Raiders 2 weeks ago. His ankle, I don't know how he's doing and what he's doing right now. I was telling Lukey about this. Like, he goes, oh, what's it like calling the games in the studio down here in Sydney for a Broncos game compared to being at the game? So one thing you can't, like, I wouldn't have had the information that I've got on Payne Haas from the Raiders game if I wasn't there at Canberra.
Yeah. Yep.
Every time he was away from the ball grub, he would run normal and I'd go, and I'm trying to call the game. And it must have been hard for the listeners because every time he ran the ball, he looked normal. As soon as the ball goes away from him, hobble him.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm going like, this guy has to. He come off twice during that game. Yep. He was on the bike. I don't know how he does it. 65 minute, gets on that ball. And I said it straight away, mark it down. Huge moment. If Brisbane are able to do anything from here, they're going to thank the big fella. And then we go to the Tyson Smoothie. That was the set that Tyson Smoothie comes up with his 2 plays after.
Hoz, just off the back of that, speaking to obviously doing the radio with Loz a lot, he said the exact same thing. He goes, I don't know how Payne gets through it.
Yeah.
All he says to him is, he says, I'm playing.
Yeah.
And like that just goes to show you through that origin period, he was always in doubt every game.
Yeah, he was.
He was every game, and we're all nervous. Like us, New South Wales were like, "Come on, Payno, come on."
He was even in doubt for the Manly game. Remember when they got touched up by Manly at 4 points after Origin 1, I believe?
Yeah.
He was in doubt for that. played like 70 minutes, 75 minutes, and was hobbling in that game. Remember, there was I think about all these moments. They were losing by 26 against Manly, were giving them a hiding. Everyone was starting to turn on the Broncos. Ches went down the short side. They put in a kick, and there was like 2 or 3 Manly players. Payne Haas gets back there and knocks it dead. Yeah. Down by 26.
But that is a guy.
That's just in your DNA.
That's a leader as well.
That's a leader.
Yeah, exactly. And these are the clips that the coaches will show.
Yeah.
Absolute shit house game.
Yeah.
We got pumped at 4 Pines by a team that we shouldn't have been pumped by. But you go back home and you got to find some positivity out of the game. Show that. How can he do it? He's 110, 15 kilos. Why can't you do it? Why are you walking?
He's been doing it for 7 years. 6 to 7 years.
And it's unfair to us skinny blokes for him to have a fucking motor like that. You know what he would be? He would kill me, Payne. You remember the VO2 test?
Yep.
Did you ever do it?
Yep.
So like I used to like go okay on the long runs,
yeah,
right? And I'd go on there the longest, and I'd be like getting off 6. I don't know how many minutes I used to do, and I'd be like Cassiano would get on and do 10, and I'd be doing 15, and then we get it up in the video, and it'd be like Sam Cassiano ranked number 1, and I was like, "How? How does this? How does this work?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, he's got a bigger lung capacity."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, yeah, of course. Look at the size of him."
So for this test, it's like you have an attachment around.
You get all the
get the mask on,
Lukey, bro.
you run on, and it goes up, and it continually gets faster and faster, and you just try to hang on.
And you got the nose clip. He's trying to run, but then you got Tony Grimorty behind you. This is the thing. Like Des was like, you fall off.
Yeah.
You don't get to go like you do at the gym.
Yeah.
People are falling off. the cords are going everywhere. But Payne Haas, I would hate to see his VO2, but it's ridiculous, Hoz. And this is why he's up there. He's up there with the best ever. Just different type of front row.
He's an outlier,
We've
mate.
never seen anywhere.
1 of 1.
He is.
He's a 1 of 1.
Well, who's like him?
Well, I want to compare. There's no one like him. My 3 premier front rollers now include him, especially if he's able to go on and win a grand final, mate. If he's able to win a grand final, maybe even add a Clive Churchill. Different eras, completely different eras. But my 3 would be Big Artie Beetson changed the game.
Yep.
There was no one like Artie Beetson at the time. Artie Beetson, he was just bigger, stronger, offload, pre-line, had everything.
Yep.
Artie is still the epitome of front rowers, in my opinion, going back. And that was probably as early as I can go back. And I didn't even see a whole heap of film. I just seen a lot of highlights of Hardy because I wasn't young enough to watch week in, week out. Then you go to Glenn Lazarus.
Yeah, Lazo, yeah. 3
different premierships for 3 different teams. Just the epitome of like what a front rower should be like and winning and leadership. I think you got to consider him. And then Payne Haas is just trying to put those bodies and that all the accomplishments that they did into a lab and add a little bit more to it, add a little bit more percentage, and I think you got Payne Haas.
Wouldn't it be interesting? And I find this very interesting. Like to think if we sat in a room and you asked, you got Lazo in, you got who else is Blocker Roach, or a couple of the great front rowers, and sort of said
Chief Harrigan,
Chief Webke.
Yep.
Where do you guys put Payne Haas? They're probably like, they talk. He's not fucking. He's not that tough because he runs sideways and this and that. But when you break it down, and they would see it as well, they'd be like, "How does he stay on for so long?" But at a level like that,
wow.
Like I would actually like to hear them all on a potty like talk about him.
That would be a fucking great. You know what? That's
Very
a great
different.
idea for a potty. Imagine just getting the proper OGs back, every position, but you break up the errors. And you get like a sprinkle of the late 80s somewhere, someone at the start of the night. Like Chief would be the representation from the 90s. Shane Webke or Petro would be the back end of the 90s and the 2000s. Ogre. Like putting Ogre in there. Guys like Jesse Bromwich and Jared Aria Hargraves.
Don't leave James Graham out. He'll have a
Jammer. Young man Jammer.
Hey, Kate, there you go. We're just throwing things out for you. Throwing things out for you today for Tab.
He loves an idea like that, doesn't
unreal,
he, Jammer?
mate.
Jammer will be all over that. So, that would be cool to see. Proper OGs.
Hey, I've got a question for you, Hoz, just on that game. If Penrith won, with Scotty Sorensen? So he got Cat 1, right?
Yep.
But because he passed his test, he would be able to play on Sunday?
No. They could have contested it.
Got ya. Yeah,
But
no, I
it
just
wouldn't have
wanted
been. There's been occasions where someone has been given a Cat 1, they've applied for to contest it, and there have been a couple of them that have been denied. There's also been a couple that have gotten off and been able to play.
Yeah, no,
I think
sorry, I
maybe
just had it down.
one from memory that stands out. I feel like maybe Sam Walker or Sandon Smith applied for it one time because they passed. Anyway, if Payne Haas wasn't man of the match,
Yep.
man, I think Katoni Staggs was close as well. A couple of really big one-on-one tackles, yardage carries.
Yeah. Late though. Like
Late.
first half, he
When it
wasn't
matters.
much going on.
When it matters,
To
mate.
be honest,
when everyone else gets tired, that's when Katoni does his
and he's
best.
probably just buying his time, right? Because Penrith defensively are really good. They're hard to sort of break down, but you're right in those big moments. You know, I thought were really good. The Broncos back rowers just not letting Penrith get comfortable.
Yeah.
The halves,
Yep.
letting them know. When Nathan got hit, that little turn one,
Yep.
he sort of turned out of it. I thought he.
Pikura.
It was.
I thought he laid out Pikura too, by the way, because he got low.
I know.
Yeah, come on,
And
second
then Ricky,
best.
they kick chase well. They put pressure on fullbacks. They done a really, really good job of not letting them get comfortable. And it's sort of, Blaze Talangi. I just want to quickly speak about him.
Yep.
We spoke about
Go
before.
ahead. Yep.
Just not having just that little bit of belief in the big moments. And Blaze Talangi, man, he's going to be an absolute player.
Star.
No, honestly, because he wants to do stuff. I see, like, there was a couple of times yesterday where he had an opportunity. It was sort of fourth tackle. They were throwing the ball around a bit. Reece Walsh had come forward into the line a bit, and he showed the kick. And if he kicked it, it's on.
It was
Because there's
on.
a little gap.
Yeah.
But he's just at that, and a couple of times 3-on-2s, he just doesn't throw it yet. Like, there is times where he does it, just goes bang, bang. You're like, wow, but it's just that little bit of...
I'll add to it,
call
mate.
it doubt.
I know exactly
Doubt.
what you're talking about. So Ivan said at the start of the year, when Blaze Talangi does something, both sets of coaches worry. I don't know what he's going to do, but the coaches don't know what he's going to do on the opposite team. So it's almost like a message to Blaze Talangi. It'd be fucking so difficult to do what Blaze Talangi's done this year. Jerome Luai was their emotional leader. He's been Nat's partner for 5 or 6 years. He has to come into a team that's won multiple premierships. He was a rookie phenom last year at Parramatta, unproven.
Yeah.
High ceiling for sure. Fullback, centre, 5'8" hybrid. At the start of the year, it was rough, mate. It was rough with him and Casey McLean. Multiple people got dropped. Paul Alamotti was even a victim of it. He ended up playing New South Wales Cup because they couldn't quite figure out how it was all happening. And then he goes into these big games and he's got all this shit in the kit bag. He could kick it. He could play short. But at the end of the day, he also thinks, fuck, I'm playing with Nathan Cleary here.
Yeah.
I don't have to overplay my hand. Makes him so much more dangerous next year because he's not going to have that 10-week period where he was trying to figure it out.
Exactly.
Factor in, he had shoulder surgery at the start of the season too. So that he didn't do any preseason. So he didn't know any of their defensive scheme. He didn't know any of their attacking combinations that he started to build at the end of the year. I love that shout on Blaze Talangi. I reckon Penrith are more dangerous next year than they were for me at the start of this year.
You know what I was... And we spoke about it earlier in the show. What impressed me with him, mate, his defence last 2 games.
Yep.
Tough.
Going
I reckon
after
Ivan challenged him.
Yeah.
Because he in the Dogs game, he's coming out putting shots on Birdo.
Yep.
Birdo's 105 kilos.
Yep.
Like that's a big thing to do. Not even just that.
Birdo's like a back row.
Throwing his body at people. I reckon he got challenged because that's not... I don't think it comes natural to him. So I think he's had to go after it a little bit in the 2 last games. But I just seen a few times yesterday, Hoz.
Love the
And
shot.
I was just like, do it, man. Big game on the line. They were still ahead though. And I just felt, but like he will, like this is why Jerome Luai was so good, right? Because wide 4, it would have Yowie, Nathan and Edwards stacked on the right. But, but then you got the fullback at A really, really tight. Jerome Luai would just go, man, thank you. This is my time.
Little kick in behind. Third tackle. He didn't care.
Every time he got it. And that's what Blaze will sort out because he does have Nathan and he will take full control. But, yeah, great season. As you said, there was a few things that didn't go their way early. But I'm not sure if I mentioned this to you, but I spoke to Ivan just after the Magic round. Had a good winner against the Broncos.
Yep.
Penrith.
Yep.
And I sort of said to him how he's going. He goes, it's a different challenge where everything's not going great. But he just said, I feel really sorry for these young guys because they're expected to be great straight away.
100%.
They don't get the chance to come into first grade, make mistakes, everyone get into them. They're like, no, this is the Penrith system. And they felt that. He reckons that these young guys felt that. But
how could you not?
They found their way.
Yep.
Jenko, Tommy Jenkins, like all of them.
Yep.
They slowly found their way. And I know they didn't get the win yesterday, but I love the call of next year.
Yeah.
There's no teething.
No.
They're fully through, man.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking oath. That's a good shout. I want to quickly go back to a couple of things. We talked about Paddy Carrigan back next week. We'll talk more about that in the preview. Walshy, mixed bag.
Yep.
Game winner at the end.
All
That's all that matters. Yeah. The 40-20 was so close. Dylan Edwards comes up with a big play. So it was it's probably the more, what's the word? Wasn't a bad game. It was just a mixed bag for Walshy compared to the weeks previous where he just come up with big play after big play against Canberra and even some of the games leading into it, but still had the class and ability to come up, and also the humility after the game finding out that he went up to Reynolds and goes, fuck, I'm not striking the ball well. Like, this is your moment. And it was just so good to see Adam ice that kick from the sideline.
Loved it. Love to see it. One for the old boys. But honestly,
Fozzie said the same thing last night. These are all the same. See? Hey.
But like, you know what I love about Reece was his intent early.
Yep.
It's not the Reece Walsh we're used to of sideways. Man, he went straight through the teeth of back row, front row twice. 2
carries in the first set.
And that showed me he's on. Yep. And that's crazy because people would think, well, why is he on? Because that's not him at the moment. It's usually a 3-on-2 out the back, long pass. But I love that about him. But do you know that the thing is with Walsh as well? He didn't let that 40-20 that he didn't get. Like, because sometimes when you're losing and you try and come up with a big moment and you miss it by that much, you go, nah, it's not our day.
Yeah.
I just nailed a kick.
Yeah.
But
that would have been a 2022, by the way.
Dylan Edwards is also a big-time player, and that's a big play for him.
Yeah.
That's where it's like chess. It's like a little move, and he just – for him to have that balance and strength through the hips to throw that ball, mind you, I didn't know – it looked like there was no winger there.
Yeah, where was Dean Mariner to begin with?
Where was he? And then all of a sudden he just goes –
why did it take so long to get there?
I don't know, but to show strength, and, mate, he's you can just tell this stage is going to be set for him on Sunday.
So let's talk about the Mariner finish. So despite me concerned that he wasn't there, what an unbelievable job to it hits the deck, bounces up, he catches it above his head. You can for sure he is looking at the ball trying to catch it and also look to where the defenders are.
Yep.
So once he pulls it in that moment, puts it in his chest. There's still a guy called Brian Toto, who I believe is still the premier winger in the competition. You still got to find a way to get through him and a guy called Dylan Edwards, who have saved tries like that for fun over the years and big moments. Great finish from Dean Mariner.
And just like will, effort. But you know what I'm going to give a rap to? The whole Broncos system. Okay, let's think of the guys who have all fought for that position. Karapani, Mariner, Cobbo, Arthurs. How do you keep all them happy? How do you keep them all still playing like that?
Yep.
There's a knack to it.
Yep.
I promise you that. Because sometimes both these guys have been out of the team, worked their way back in.
Yep.
Their 1-2 punch was unbelievable yesterday.
Good.
Coming out of yardage, drifting across field, you could tell Penrith was scared. They were trying to stay as square as they could because as soon as you turn in, bang, off the left. They got a great feel about them. But I just had it at the back of my mind, like there was talk through the week Cobbo might be playing. These guys said, nah, not on my watch, and they were just
I was even thinking about it after the game, Grubby. Seen Selwyn Cobbo running on the field. So Selwyn Cobbo's running next to all his teammates, and I'm just going, look at this fucking freak of nature beast, potential option that they've got on the bench. And my prediction was I thought we're going to see Selwyn Cobbo.
Yeah.
I think I likened it to Ivan making the decision to go with Alamotti over Jenkins. Did Karapani or Mariner deserve to be dropped? No. They gave Madge absolutely no reason to get dropped. Do I think Selwyn Cobbo still has a higher ceiling than both of them? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a do-or-die game. But you know what? on reflection, once the team was announced and you think about what Madge has done this year, go all the way back to preseason. All the rumours are there's a training trial guy called Gemet Shibasaki that is going to win the centre job. Everyone was like, yeah, just Madge. Iron sharpens iron. He's keeping everyone honest. It'll be Dean Mariner's spot. Dean Mariner's showed glimpses of being like a real elite talent.
Unbelievable.
Everyone, Jesse Arthur's on one wing, maybe even Selwyn Cobbo at the centres. Round one, Gemet Shibasaki. Then you go to the back row position. Everyone's talking about, fuck, they reckon that Krzyzewski's going to fucking win the back row spot. No fucking way. Brendan Piakora's got a way bigger ceiling than Krzyzewski. Round one, Krzyzewski. Same thing with fucking Corey Pates at hooker. All the chats around, Benny Hunt, Ezra Mam's out. Benny Hunt's going to go to 6. Billy Walters is the more experienced 9. Tyson Smoothie's even played a little bit down in the Melbourne system. And then they got this young kid, it's escaping me now.
With the headgear.
The headgear. And I know he was injured at the start of the year.
I know you're talking about.
Oh, fuck, that's... Lukey, let's get his name right because
he played
Blake
last year.
Blake Moser. Huge raps on him. Everyone keeps telling me that Blake Moser is going to be the next best young talent to come into the hooking position. Corey Pates, round 1. Like, it wasn't until you get injured or suspended or there was some form that dictated getting dropped that players got an opportunity. And once they're given the opportunity, it's harder to get in than it is to get out.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that once the drums are drumming, right, this week, they were everywhere. Cobbo. And coaches feel that pressure. I don't care what they say.
For sure
I don't care because it's the easy option.
Yeah.
I pick Cobbo on his ability. But stuck to their processes, stuck to what they've done all year and got paid back for it. Yeah. Those two blokes were brilliant. You know, one thing I just want to quickly go back to, Hoz, I forgot to mention, the Reece Walsh factor. I reckon why he didn't have such a big game what we thought, because you think his 2 halves have been very different of late.
Yep.
And I reckon Billy Walters personally done a great job, just open up space for Walsh.
Suited him perfectly.
You know what I mean? He just and I just think Adam Reynolds being back a lot more dominant, different style. I know, like, getting the ball to someone is different. Adam Reynolds might do it different to Billy Walters, but
for sure he does.
It's suited Walshy a bit better,
and also the disruption, another factor. I totally agree with that. And there was arguments just before halftime when Benny Hunt went to hooker. You could see him constantly turn around and asking questions because Ezra Mam doesn't look to me to be like a real vocal player.
No. Yep.
I think the disruption. I would start Benny Hunt at hooker and put Ezra Mam there because I thought that flustered them for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can afford to do that.
Not in the GF.
Not in a GF.
No way.
So I think you need the full week's preparation of Walsh understanding where he needs to be with Ezra and Reynolds rather than practicing some with Ben Hunt and then practicing half with Ezra Mam.
I'm with you. Nah, for sure, man.
Even though I thought Corey Pates was, again, like led the line speed, was physical, great service.
Bit Mitch Kenny-like Pakes.
He ain't going to let you down.
You know what I mean?
He ain't going to let you down.
Just suits a big game.
Yep. All right, the last little thing just on Penrith. I think Paul Alamotti for me has become a big game player in 2 years.
Yep.
I think he is capable of rep honours next year. He's had to work his ass to get consistent footy in this Penrith team, and he still didn't really get that until the back end of the season. But Paul Alamotti, like, what doesn't he do? What doesn't he do good?
Well, we know he's a hurdler now. See him hurdle over Reece Walsh yesterday. That was ridiculous.
He finishes well. His yardage carries are excellent. He's really good under the high ball. He's a good defender. Then, like, I asked this question to Mace. I said, Mace, there must have been something a little bit off with Alamotti. And, like, I don't think Mace will actually, like, come out now and say it. And my thing is maybe there is just a little bit of immaturity with Paul Alamotti, which is understandable, Grubby. He's only 21.
Can I give you a comment? He sort of has that similar sort of vibe as Joash, that sort of fun youngster in the squad, sort of bit of a kid.
Boys? No. Paulie's like, I would say, like, Joash is, I love him because he G'd up a lot. Like, we'd be doing the hardest sessions and he'd look at me and go like that. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? We're about to die. But but Paulie's like real composed.
Okay.
But honestly, he's like, he's a great talker. Yeah. Like, you come on here, like, he knows his stuff, mate. He's really good. Like,
maybe it's just an age thing then.
Yeah, but no, I also just think where the Dogs are at that time,
Yep.
and what maybe the offers he was possibly
But
getting.
not even just Bulldogs, Grubby. Like, he had to earn it at Penrith.
That exactly right.
You know what I mean?
You know,
So it's-
sometimes it just doesn't
Yeah.
work at places,
Yeah.
or you know, at that time the club didn't think. But Paulie, mate, that right foot step before contact is one of the that's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Like, I know it's not that big bang, but that right foot, you always see people front rows go, got me.
Yeah.
Poked his nose through. And that the finishes, can I just say as well, last 2 weeks, Penrith's last pass class, bang, bang.
Yeah, so
like,
good.
I just remember I was at the pub yesterday and I was like watching people go, you know, I reckon to get into that Penrith squad, that is your extras you got to do every single time. Because in that back line, you got to be bang, bang.
Isaac Tungle.
Unbelievable.
Twice. Dylan Edwards twice. Dylan Edwards doesn't want to beat you with the double cutout. He'll just go the nice quick tip, put it in front of Isaac Tungle.
Little fan shape.
Fan shape.
But do you know why that? But not many teams can do that, Hoz, because Nathan creates so much space in there.
Yep.
In there, which makes you short out there, which will race you to the corner.
Yeah.
Not a lot of teams can do that. So, man, it's what a brilliant game, man.
Yeah.
Like, but once again, Hoz, I'm just so shocked. You know, the Broncos, good on them, man. Like, rock stars. Everyone called them rock stars. Don't want to train hard. Don't want to do all this shit. Mate, they were there. They were there in the last 5 minutes more than Panthers, the 4-time champs. Not many people can say they've done that.
No, they can't.
Unbelievable.
I remember at the start of the year too, we went and did some content for Tab. We went and played the Brisbane Lions against the Brisbane Broncos. And during, I was the captain of the rugby league team and had Katoni Staggs, had Jesse Arthurs, our man Tyson Smoothie, and it was a 3-on-3. Was there one more there? Oh, it was.
I remember seeing this.
Oh, it was a man. He's going to be. It's one of those ones. He's going to be frustrated that I forgot his name again too. He's the outside back centre that doesn't play too much. He's like they've been in this system for a couple of years.
Bronx.
Yeah, go the outside backs.
Hayes.
Not
No.
Hayes.
No.
Here we go. We had Katoni, Tyson Smoothie, Jesse Arthurs, and Deloise Hoyter.
Deloise Hoyter.
Yeah.
Great fella. He was actually the star of the content too. He's fucking hilarious. Anyway, and me and Jesse were in the cart together and we were just cruising. We had the cameras going. And I go, Jesse, I said, has the training been as hard as advertised? Like, you know, everyone's talking about how hard this preseason's been. He goes, bro, like, we don't really talk about hard training. He goes, we just train. Like, there's no such thing as easy training and hard training. It's just training. And I was like, ooh, that shit's ice cold. Love that shit. Like, that's the mentality. And even go back and watch the tape. Go back and watch our podcast. Even when they were at their worst, when everyone was hammering the Broncos and hammering Madge, I was adamant. I did not give up on the Broncos at all. I knew it was going to pay him back. And I never bought in that the players were complaining about it. I never heard a player come out and say, oh, it's too hard. We're training too hard. We're fatigued. That was people watching them train.
Yeah.
That was people, media up there in the media. There were people with agendas that wanted to fucking see Madge fail.
Yep.
There were even probably people within
Broncos.
that have been within the four walls of the Broncos in recent
Ex-players.
years that wanted to see Madge fail.
Yep.
So that's where all those reports, every time I had a chat to a player, and I don't know all the players. I know a couple of the players, and I will never give names away in conversations that I had. Not one player that I spoke to throughout the year was not embracing what Madge was trying to accomplish there.
All right, well, Shibasaki a couple of weeks ago goes on a bit of a Larry, has a bit of a brain fade. Josh Reynolds brain fade. He has a couple, and it's not.
We've all been there,
but it's not the players that. It's not the coach that. You know, Madge come out and say, "Yeah, hit punishment." Well, apparently, it was the players that said, "Mate, that's not where we're at."
Yeah.
And talking about training, apparently that week he got absolutely resold.
Yeah.
But that's Shibasaki, an Origin player now.
Yep.
They don't care. Their standards have changed. The culture's changed, and it's bullshit. Whoever says this bullshit about training these days, mate, it's not the sport for you. Training is nearly as important as the games now.
Yep.
Gone are the days where you rest your best players and, you know, Terry Lamb's on the bike on the sideline having a dart.
Shout out, Bar.
Love him.
Love Bar.
Love him. I'm going to see him now. But it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me that, you know, people still want to bring up that conversation about, oh, maybe they are training. No. The best. We've seen the best of what they do for 4 years, and they train the hardest out of anyone.
The only one that was critical got shown the door pretty quickly.
Yeah. There you go. Maybe,
Who was that?
Big Marty wasn't a fan of the training. Remember he liked the post with ET. In comparison, like people were talking about and comparing it to other situations, most notably the Ezra Mam stuff and that. But like, do I condone what Ezra did? Of course I don't. But mate, that is unacceptable within the playing group. You can't. I know it's a like on a post, but what that is, if there were any grumblings about the way that the team is training. You just can't have that sort of stuff within a playing group because in a way you're the representation of undermining what's happening, and you give all the networks that opportunity to get in. Mate, there's fuck all in it. I know, Grubby, and I feel sorry for
I agree, mate.
But you can't have that in a playing group, mate.
Well, it's like you're in a relationship and you're liking another girl's post. You can't do that.
That's the comp.
What it's like.
That's the comp.
Oh man, right. No, but honestly, like it's mental to hear that we're still even talking about.
Yeah.
If it's the time.
Sorry to bring it up, but it was just
it is what
one
it is.
reference point.
Yeah,
well,
it was a great
let's go
reference
back.
point.
The Bulldogs went through the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember a couple of years ago?
You don't want to be
It was
there.
the same conversation, and I'm like same thing. I'd get asked the question, "What do you reckon?" I felt like saying to some of them, "Please don't ask me that again."
Yeah.
No, because like I think because I was at a different stage in my career. I was the old guy that I literally to get on the training park was hard. But at the same time, if I was young and hungry, you should want this.
Yeah.
Test your body under duress because then it comes out in big moments.
Yep.
That's all you can take out of this.
I'll leave you with one more thing. So you know I love my presses, and apologies if it's got ads in it, but I want to leave you with this from Ivan and Nathan, and I'll get it sorted. I've got the timestamp and everything.
I think I figured that out. Why it's not premium on your account too.
Okay, we'll figure that out later. All right, let's go to 225 here, Grubby. Let's just see
What do you got for us, Hoz?
This is my bread and butter, mate. I love this.
You love presses, eh?
I eat this shit up. I think it's so important. Let me just turn it up. All right. This is Nathan. Can we?
No, I'll cut it in.
Oh, you'll be able to cut it in. We'll be able to watch this together.
What's the timestamp?
225.
It's been amazing, right? So, what's that? Well, I guess the full-time premiers that you've had. It's been amazing. Thank you. I'd like to think there's, Maurians. Still, not going to win it this year, but definitely showed a fair bit to fight back from a poor start. That's the same story, but doesn't need to be told today. But probably some lessons in there, and but ultimately just not quite good enough this year. But I feel like we got some real strides with some young guys this year, and the core of our team's going to still be there next year. And hopefully they use this feeling, which we haven't had for a while, to spur us on into next year. Is that how it's going to feel for you, Nathan? You've had an amazing run, it's been extraordinary. Is this going to be a fire in the belly going forward? Come back bigger and better? Yeah, I think so for sure. I think that's initial feelings is like that. It's just horrible feeling being losing, being knocked out. I just haven't felt that for a while. So
Basically, that's it. They ain't going anywhere.
Nah. And you can see Nathan nodding.
As soon as he said, "What's over?"
Yeah.
And then Nath just started smiling. It was just like, oh, that shit gets me. I'm like, the Prince, he was just stewing on it the whole time. Yeah. He's not used to having a press conference like that at this time of the year. And look at him. Even the freeze, like, does that look like a guy that's worried to you in any way?
It also looks like a guy who's won 4 comps and can just say to anyone, what you got?
They're not losing anyone, aren't they?
They're not losing anyone, not this year.
Any gains?
No gains, but obviously no huge losses.
Don't really need gains.
Like they've lost Jerome, Taruva, Fisher Harris last year. Before that, Critter, Spencer.
Where could they improve, Oz? We all got to...
I just don't think they'll miss the jump. That's the improvement.
No, I mean, like player, could you add someone in there that's just going to add a little something?
I don't think they even
nowhere.
Need it. Like the improvement is the left edge, the way the left edge started this year. They are going to start the year the way they finished this year. Talking about Blaze Lange, Casey McLean, Milky Jenkins, and whoever plays there.
Oh, yeah.
Bizza. I watch that presser and go, they're more dangerous next year than they were this year, for sure.
Agreed.
Appreciate you coming in, mate. Always love
brother.
doing this with
Thank
you. Can't wait for Wednesday. And next week, you got a big week coming up. You got the Bucks coming up too, mate.
I do. That's what we might have to put the negotiations on hold, but
Yeah.
give us hope. Give us hope in the comments.
If you love Grubby on our show, we asked you at the start. Let us know at the end. You've watched all the way to the end. We love doing it with him, so we wanted to make sure that he is a huge.
But take away everything.
I thought you were going for the
I
handshake.
was. We'll go with it. I was going to let you know. Take away everything you ever thought of me. This is we're talking about just on podcast now, guys.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you on Wednesday with Mace to break down the NRL Grand Final.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website